A man takes the hunter qualification exam and shocks the world's top S-rank hunters. With just one punch, he destroys a level 50 monster. This scene leaves even the commander of Hunter Command unable to sit still. They must invite him to join, agreeing to all his conditions. But what they don't know is that the man was trapped in the abyss for a full 500 years. Every day, the only food he ate came from the beasts he hunted. As the beasts he hunted became stronger and stronger, his own power grew through endless combat. After 50 years in the abyss, he can easily eliminate low-level beasts. By 300 years, even high-level beasts in the abyss cannot withstand a single punch from him. At 400 years, he can no longer remember his family's faces. All that remains are endless battles and countless scars. At year 500, he finally becomes the strongest ruler of the abyss. No beast in the abyss dares to attack him anymore. Yet even as the strongest, he still cannot find a way back. He once had a happy family, but at some point he begins having the same dream every night. The dream shows a mist-covered floating island with dilapidated Western-style buildings standing as if no life had ever existed there. Yet in one of these ruins, I see a human figure. That person seems to have been waiting for my arrival. Come, child, I await you at the edge of the abyss. Every time I reach this point in the dream, I wake up. Though the dream has troubled me for a long time, I never mention it to anyone. Perhaps the stress from studying has been affecting my mental state. My father pats me on the head from behind. What's wrong with you? You've been spacing out these past few days. Hurry up and get ready for school. After washing up, I sit down to eat with my family. My dream is to join the self-defense force after graduation. When that time comes, I'll probably see my parents less and less. But I never imagined that on this day, a massive shadow would cover the entire world. This shadow comes from towers that appear out of nowhere. At that moment, I know nothing. But soon, the appearance of these towers will change human history forever. On the first day the towers appear, we receive a call from my older brother. He tells us not to worry, that he's perfectly safe. However, his voice on the phone sounds extremely weak. That day, our family loses contact with him. We know he may never come back. At first, the news tells us we'll be safe if we stay home. But as time passes, over 20 such towers appear around the world. Before long, even the news stops broadcasting entirely. No information from outside can reach us. The government then notifies us to pack our belongings and prepare to evacuate to safe zones. Before leaving, my mother writes a letter for my brother. If you can come back, please find us. After that, our family begins the journey of escape. Along the way, I witness many things with my own eyes. I see despair written across soldiers' faces. Their armored vehicles are covered with horrifying claw marks. Soon we arrive at a temporary shelter. Everyone here is eerily quiet. They look like people waiting for death to arrive, with no will to live in their eyes. An argument breaks out in the shelter. A grown man tries to steal bread from a child. Little kid, your stomach is small. Going hungry for a few days won't hurt you. You don't mind giving me this bread, right? The child cannot withstand his threats and prepares to hand over the bread. But at this moment, my father, who can never mind his own business, cannot stand watching this. You know what situation we're all in. Why would you do this? But the man doesn't take my father seriously at all. Mind your own business, old man. My father's expression darkens. Give the bread back to the child. Hearing this, the man laughs loudly and swings a punch at my father. But in the next second, my father takes him down with a single kick. My father then returns the bread to the boy, completely ignoring the man lying on the ground. My father gives him a cold look. The bread thief instantly falls silent. He leaves with a threat, "I'll remember this." I recognize the person my father just beat up. He's my classmate. During school, he bullied me almost every day. I've always wished I could get rid of this scum someday. Just then, a military officer rushes in frantically. He orders everyone to evacuate the shelter immediately and board one of the trucks. Some self-righteous person questions the soldier about why, but the soldier has no authority to explain. Just do as you're told. While they argue, a loud commotion erupts outside the door behind them. The soldier speaks rapidly. "Run now. Don't worry about anything else." Seeing this, I urgently push my parents to leave immediately. I have a terrible feeling about this. The shelter door breaks open, and several white-haired monsters rush in. The people who were arguing moments ago now flee in panic. These creatures are monsters they've never seen before. Even a fool can tell how dangerous they are. I'm completely shocked by this scene. What on earth is happening? Soon everyone rushes onto the trucks outside. I tell my parents to get on quickly. I'll check if there's space on other vehicles. I turn and run in another direction, but the other vehicle is packed too. There's no room for me. However, I quickly find a truck that's half empty. I leap up and jump onto it. At that moment, a large hand reaches out to me quickly. I hurriedly say thank you, but the person's lips curl into a wicked smile. Isn't it a bit early to say thank you? This gives me a bad feeling. I look up and realize it's the person my father just beat up. Why did it have to be him who grabbed me? The next second, he swings his hand and shoves me off the truck. At this moment, I feel everything is over. My life is finished. My dreams are finished. Countless people trample over my body, but I don't want to die. I hope someone will come save me. I open my eyes and see a crystalline, translucent foot appear before me. Looking closely, that figure is the old man from my dreams. He speaks the words from my dream again. "I will await you at the edge of the abyss." The next moment, the scene changes. Everyone around me disappears. Just then, something sharp crashes into the ground beside me. I look up. It's a goblin attacking me. I'm terrified by this sight and immediately turn to flee from this place. The experiences of these past few days push my anger to its peak. The towers that suddenly appeared, the bastard who pushed me off the truck, the mysterious old man, and now this goblin monster attacking me. I know I must fight back or I'll die here. In the next second, I pick up a stone from the ground. I turn and charge at the goblin. If you can kill me, then do it. If you can't, you're the one who dies. After a fierce battle, I kill the goblin. I never expected something that only exists in games would appear before my eyes, and there's a black number on its chest, probably indicating its level. Moments later, a black crystal emerges from the goblin's chest. I freeze in place, completely unsure of what to do. However, the crystal seems to have eyes of its own and flies straight toward me. The next second, it rushes into my body at lightning speed. I have no time to react. After I calm down, I notice my wounds are healing. I also feel powerful energy erupting inside my body. It seems that after killing a goblin, absorbing its crystal makes me stronger. Realizing this, I pick up the goblin's weapon. There must be many more monsters like this on the island. I need to hide to avoid being ambushed. But after circling around, I'm surprised to discover that besides that goblin, no other monsters appear here. All the suspicious signs point to the door ahead. This island floats in midair, and at its edge there's a flight of stairs. I peek over and find no monsters at all. I walk down the stairs step by step. This scene feels somewhat familiar, like a level in a game where a skeleton might suddenly appear and push me off. Maybe if I fall, I'll respawn at the starting point. But I'm not willing to take that risk. Reaching the bottom of the stairs, I enter a room. It's different from what I expected. The walls here are extremely ancient. Suddenly, a flame ignites in this room. Behind this flame, there's a door. I don't understand what this means. Am I supposed to enter the door? I look at the text on the stone tablet. I'm certain I've never seen these characters before, yet their meaning flows into my mind. It reads, "The fragile shards and everything possessed by their holders will grant me the right to leave this place." Seeing this message, I smile. To get out, I need to collect all the shards. It seems there's still hope. I'm now filled with motivation. Thinking calmly, that monster wasn't really that strong. With this thought, I slowly push open the stone door. As the door opens, a chilling aura spreads across my entire body. The first floor of the abyss is an area of 900 square meters, with monsters bearing the number 1. The second floor covers 1,800 square meters, with one monster bearing the number 2. The third floor spans 3,600 square meters, and among 4 monsters, one bears the number 3. Shards exist only within monsters bearing numbers. These shards are the key to entering the next floor. The larger the number, the stronger the monster. But as I descend deeper, a worrying problem emerges. These keys become increasingly difficult to find, because with each floor, the area and the number of monsters double. In this abyss, I grow stronger with each monster I hunt. What surprises me is that my physical age doesn't seem to change much. I don't know how much time has passed. Maybe 10 years, maybe 100. Either way, I can now destroy high-level monsters with a single punch. As I continue to descend, the variety of monsters keeps increasing. When I reach the 15th floor, this level has over 1 million monsters. However, I don't fall despite their terrifying numbers. Instead, I fight even more fiercely. When I reach the 30th floor, the monster count has reached 500 million. Finding the key now is like searching for a needle in a haystack. The monsters on each floor seem to value the keys highly and protect them. Some monsters, knowing they cannot defeat me, hide underground. But no matter where they hide, I hunt them down and eliminate them. Eventually, I reach the 99th floor, continuing forward with unwavering determination. The number of monsters on this floor has reached over 2 trillion. I laugh heartily. Since I still haven't found the key to escape, today I'll kill to my heart's content. Massive dragons soaring through the sky are reduced to nothing but bones in an instant. I don't know if time flows the same here as on Earth. I've been here for a full 500 years. The walls are covered with countless marks I've made. Right now, I'm truly exhausted. I've even forgotten what my family looks like. Yet even so, I must get out. This is my only remaining belief, even if my parents are no longer alive. Over these 500 years, I become incredibly powerful. In the abyss, I cannot find an opponent, but fate seems to have played a cruel joke on me. I cannot find a way out. There are only endless islands to conquer. What I don't know is that while I've been trapped in the abyss, the outside world has undergone massive changes. Over 20 towers appeared in the world. Before people could understand them, something unimaginable happened. Countless monsters emerged from within and began slaughtering humans indiscriminately. This day became known as Judgment Day. A few survivors awaken and gain access to a mysterious system. As time passes, more and more awakened ones receive overwhelming power. Humanity is able to rebuild, and the awakened establish the Hunter Guild. Meanwhile, I'm in the abyss chasing a demon wolf. I shout at it to stop running. "Let me check if you have a number on you." But at that moment, a chain locks onto the demon wolf, and I hear human language. She just used an advanced teleportation scroll. Stop her quickly. Don't let her complete the summoning. The next moment, the demon wolf rises into the air, wrapped in a massive teleportation force. This scene leaves me stunned. Could that teleportation portal above be the exit? Seeing this, I kick off the ground hard. After waiting so long, how could I possibly give up this opportunity? With a whoosh, I leap upward, following the demon wolf straight into the teleportation portal. But at this moment, the abyss sends a warning. Warning! The abyss cannot summon 2 life forms simultaneously. This makes me curse silently. I won't let anyone block my path. I cling tightly to the demon wolf ahead. I absolutely cannot let it teleport out before me. Meanwhile, in the outside world, a woman is surrounded by several hunters who want to steal the level 60 scroll in her hands. One of the hunters says with a wicked grin, "Hand it over now or I won't show mercy." The woman shouts in terror, "Players can't fight each other. You're breaking the rules." The level 38 barbarian laughs. "Rules are meant to be broken, not to bind us." He then raises his blade vertically in front of the woman, scaring her to tears. The barbarian says viciously, "Just hand over the scroll, and I might let you leave here with all your limbs intact." Seeing this, the woman grabs the scroll behind her. "Since you're treating me this way, I won't be polite either." Seeing this, the hunter's faces turn ugly. She's forcing the summoning. "Stop her quickly." The barbarian holds nothing back, preparing to unleash his full power to kill the woman and seize the scroll. Immediately, a terrifying aura emanates from his body, with lightning crackling around him. Just as his weapon is about to strike the woman's head, the woman quickly dodges his attack and forces the summoning. This makes the hunters feel afraid. If she successfully summons it, no one will be able to defeat this high-level monster. We're doomed. Then they see a bolt of lightning fly out from the scroll. The woman shouts, "Die, all of you. Even if I don't survive today, I'm taking you down with me." An extremely powerful vortex appears in the sky above. Lightning strikes down from the vortex, hitting the woman's summoning scroll. All the hunters present are blown away by this force. Cold sweat pours from the barbarian's forehead. So much overwhelming energy. This is bad for us. We should flee now. Moments later, a creature slowly emerges from within the lightning. They watch the summoned creature ahead with extreme tension. But when they see what was summoned, they freeze completely. It's actually a level 3 hell demon wolf. Seeing this, one hunter even tosses a bone at it. They nearly burst out laughing at this scene. Even the woman doesn't know what happened. The scroll she desperately desperately protected only summons such a low-level monster. Fate has played a cruel joke on her. The next second, a hand suddenly pierces through the demon wolf's body. Then I exert slight force and instantly tear the demon wolf's body in half. Now the hunters completely lose their composure. This is actually a humanoid monster. They've never heard of such a thing. The female summoner is completely stunned. She probably never expected the scene either. At this moment, I speak slowly. I finally escaped. A full 500 years in that damned hell. Just thinking about it makes me sick. The next second, I cry out excitedly toward the sky. I finally escaped that place. I'm finally free. The aura emanating from my body makes these hunters tremble with fear. Just hearing my laughter makes their entire bodies stiffen. This power is probably even more terrifying than domestic S-rank hunters. A female hunter stares at me blankly. What exactly are you? Why'd you come out of the teleportation portal? Hearing her question, I stop my wild laughter. I take one step and instantly appear before her. My speed so fast it leaves after images. This female hunter probably doesn't know what I'm thinking. For 500 full years, I haven't seen a single human, so seeing them now fills me with warmth. I immediately put my arm around her shoulder and ask, "Is this Earth?" The woman answers, "This is Earth." Hearing her confirmation, I laugh heartily again. I'm finally back. I look at the two people nearby and find their clothing odd. "You're not doing some kind of cosplay, are you?" This makes their expressions turn sour. The next second, two people instantly rush behind me, preparing to ambush me. However, what they don't expect is that I don't move or flee. I just stand here straight, letting their attacks hit my body, but their weapons shatter the instant they touch me. My eyes reveal killing intent. "What do you two punks think you're doing?" When the barbarian meets my gaze, he becomes completely terrified. "What kind of monster are you?" At this moment, his afterimage already appears in my eyes. "You dare call me a monster? You're seeking death." The next second, my mind becomes hazy, and I see the barbarian as a monster from the abyss. I grab him by the throat and pin him there firmly. I show no mercy to abyss monsters. I speak slowly. "Let me see your number. I need to take the crystal from your body." Hearing my words, the barbarian is very confused. "What number are you talking about? We have no idea what you're saying." His shout brings me back to my senses. I almost killed the wrong person. I slowly release my grip, and the barbarian's body drops instantly. The barbarian has wet himself in fear. He actually did, because the aura emanating from me is truly terrifying. He even suspects that not even the strongest S-rank hunter in the country is my match. Knowing they cannot handle me, they instantly think of fleeing. But the barbarian's legs have gone weak. He might not even be able to stand. I speak slowly. "You four, get lost now. I don't want to kill anyone right now. If you don't leave, I'll start killing." The group flees in panic, their eyes filled with terror. After those people leave, I turn my gaze to the summoner. The female summoner sees the scars on my back and is incredibly shocked. Such powerful strength and those terrible scars. What has this man been through? But regardless of this person's origins, she's certain of one thing. He's definitely not a monster summoned from the abyss by the scroll, because she's never heard of a human being summoned from the abyss. While she's lost in thought, I turn to look at her. "Please tell me, how many years have these towers been here?" The woman is stunned for a moment before responding. "The towers have been here for 5 years. This should be common knowledge. You couldn't possibly not know this." I'm somewhat skeptical of her words. After all, I spent 500 years in the abyss. If this is really Earth, what's with that scroll? And why are you dressed like this? So many questions puzzle me. Afraid of angering me, the woman quickly answers. "Since these towers appeared, a system appeared before humanity. Before long, 1/3 of all cities had fallen." She then shows me recorded footage from the system. The 5th city suffered 7 large-scale invasions. I escaped from there. Seeing the information, I'm greatly shocked. This is actually S-City, the place where I was born. This makes me very anxious. I immediately grab her arm and ask about S-City's current situation. The girl explains, "S-City is now a wasteland. Most areas have been destroyed, but powerful individuals have been dispatched there for support. The monsters should be eliminated soon." Hearing the situation is so critical, I want to rush to S-City immediately. "Tell me which route to S-City is fastest." The woman raises her hand and points in a direction. At the same moment she points, my figure shoots out like phantom lightning, moving so fast she cannot see me clearly. This leaves the woman completely bewildered. This guy is definitely not a summoned beast, because summoned beasts cannot act independently. She must tell her sister about what happened today. A mysterious man actually emerged from a summoning portal. This is truly incredible. Meanwhile, on the other side, since the barbarian wet himself from fear, his two companions have to carry him. But just as they haven't gone far, a black aura suddenly appears ahead. This black aura blocks the path of the 4 people. One of the 4 people asks who has come, but when the figure turns around, it truly startles them. Today they've really stumbled into a nest of powerful people. They've encountered yet another murderous expert. This person's aura is too terrifying. The black energy emanating from the cloak also makes them tremble. The power gap between both sides is too vast. They have no ability to fight. This terrifying aura truly makes the 4 people's hearts leap to their throats. Today I'm feeling merciful, so I'm giving you 3 seconds to tell me where he is. Remember, you only have 3 seconds to answer. The barbarian is incredibly angry. Today they've really stumbled into a nest of powerful people. One expert after another keeps appearing before them. Even he doesn't know what to do. Who would have known that the next second, the group instantly turns into a blood mist. This cloaked figure simply waves his hand and easily kills the 4 hunters. 3 seconds are up. You didn't cherish the opportunity. You can't blame me. Several notifications then appear. These deceased members were all elites from Tiger Roar Guild. Meanwhile, at Tiger Roar Guild headquarters, in an elegant office, a woman speaks slowly. Several of our master-level elites have lost their life signs. And that girl's scroll is also missing. Hearing this report from his subordinate, the person sitting there directly breaks the wine glass with his fingers. Though the man appears calm on the surface, the woman knows he's extremely angry. Those people you recommended couldn't even defeat a level 19 summoner, and their signals all disappeared simultaneously. How exactly do you do your job? However, what concerns him is that their signals all disappeared at the same time, which means all 4 were killed in a single strike. But in this world, world, who could possibly achieve this? This person before us is Li Kete, a storm priest, level 118. He immediately orders his subordinates to investigate this matter, to find out who is interfering. If the opponent isn't strong, eliminate them directly. He then walks to the window and looks down. Whoever dares to touch his people, he will kill them. But soon he experiences a strange illusion. A white-haired, long-haired man is flying in the sky. How is this possible? This makes the S-rank hunter reveal an unfriendly expression. This overwhelming scent of blood is too powerful. Who exactly is this? Must investigate immediately. Korea absolutely cannot have anyone beyond his control. However, he's somewhat surprised by the direction I'm flying. Isn't there a fallen zone over there? Why is this person going there? Even if seeking death, this isn't how one does it, because the scale of this invasion is completely different. There's no doubt a powerful force is controlling things from behind. That tower that has slept for 5 years has finally awakened. He then orders all search teams to retreat completely, leaving no one behind. They must escape that dangerous place quickly, or losses will definitely be severe. At this moment, I don't know that the direction I'm flying is dangerous. I only think about rushing to S City quickly. After 10 minutes, I finally arrive at S City. However, the scene here leaves me stunned. I slowly land on a rooftop and look at the scene below, which is almost unimaginable. So many beasts flying rampantly here, and S City has long become ruins. It seems this place has already fallen. I was trapped in the abyss for 500 years, but only 5 years have passed in the outside world. This news makes me very happy, but this place also makes me very anxious, because it has become hell. I don't know if my parents are still alive. All those years in the abyss, all I wanted was to return to Earth and reunite with my family. I thought this could be achieved quickly, but I never expected 500 years would pass. That once weak person has become a ruler who dominates the abyss. In the abyss, no beast dares to attack me anymore. I'm the only one chasing and killing them. After experiencing over 200 years, I was almost in despair. After all, my parents surely wouldn't be alive after so long. Every day I could only eat monster innards to satisfy my hunger. I've long grown sick of those things. But whenever I think of my family, I swear to myself that whether my parents are alive or not, I must return. This is my obsession. Just then, a foolish bat monster rushes toward me. I prepare my attack stance. The next moment, the bat monster is directly blown away. This low-level monster probably died just from my aura alone, unable to withstand it. The good news is that 500 years equals 5 years on Earth. My father, mother, and brother might still be alive. I hope they can hold on until I arrive. Soon I arrive at my former neighborhood. The once lively scene is gone. Every building is shattered like debris after a major earthquake. However, there are no signs of monsters killing people here. It seems these monsters only target places with many people. Soon I arrive at my own front door. My heart pounds, and my eyes show great nervousness. After so many years, it's absolutely impossible to open the door calmly. With a crack, I accidentally break the door open, though this also has to do with the door being damaged. My figure slowly walks into the former room. Sunlight illuminates my body. After entering the door, that tall figure appears incredibly lonely and desolate. After entering, I look around and find no one here. Actually, I already knew no one would be here, but I came anyway, because this place is full of my happy memories. However, after entering the room, I still make some other discoveries. There's a note on the table. I pick up the note and sit down to read it carefully. It says, "Dear son, everyone says you died, but your mother and father absolutely believe you're not dead. We've organized your belongings and arranged them exactly like your old room. We firmly believe you will return. You must find us. We've even prepared clothes from size small to large for you. All your favorite styles." Reading this, tears streamed down my face. I never imagined they risked their lives to return here and write me a letter. Following my mother's instructions, I open my room's closet and indeed find several sets of clothes inside. Besides this, my mother also left me a map to shelter number 6, along with a photo of us. I don't know why my mother believed so firmly that I could return, but this time, fortunately, she guessed right. I hold the photo album and weep bitterly. 500 years. At 200 years, I had already forgotten what my family looked like, but seeing this photo, I remember everything. The next second, I find a dagger at home. In the dagger's reflection, I see my own eyes. I don't know how powerful I am now. If I can suppress all the beasts in this world, can I end this apocalypse? Using the dagger I found at home, I cut off my long hair. I also change into new clothes. In just a few minutes, I look like a different person. Perhaps I can reclaim the lost time. It's only 5 years. I can still wait. The hair I cut off is like my past. I hope a new life awaits me to start over. At this moment, I've transformed from a disheveled person into a handsome young man. Aside from the scar on my face, I look quite handsome. My current goal is shelter number 6, where my parents went. I will proceed eastward, just as marked on the map, heading straight to shelter number 6. But the entire route has become ruins. Following the original path is definitely impossible. This trivial obstacle poses no challenge to me. During my time in the abyss, I navigated all kinds of bizarre paths. This is just a ruin, so if the original route is blocked, I'll simply forge my own way forward. In the next instant, I launch myself off the ground, propelling my body into the air. The path I'm carving out will actually get me to shelter number 6 even faster. Only one giant bird beast seems to have noticed me. Its razor-sharp talons swipe toward me in an instant, but what it doesn't expect is that with a simple grab of my fingers, I tear its body clean in half. A mere low-level beast dares to block my path, truly asking for death. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. I leap continuously across the ruined buildings, shattering structures with each landing. My speed has reached its absolute limit. At this very moment, 2 young men are drinking here. They seem to hear some loud commotion. His companion thinks he must be drunk and hallucinating. Standing guard here is boring enough as it is. How could there possibly be any disturbance? The next second, they're completely stunned. Something resembling lightning streaks past right above their heads. They can't even make out what it is, let alone a human figure. The man on the left raises his hand and points. Did you see what that was? But the other man saw nothing at all, only felt a gust of wind that stung his face. Fortunately, another companion happens to be recording video and captures exactly what just occurred. Their phones appear to be quite advanced, capable of slowing down footage by 300 times. When they review the video, they see me and realize it's actually a person flying through the air. As I race madly towards shelter number 6, I hear a woman screaming below. Several hunters stand in front of the woman. Please forgive me, I just came looking for food. I never imagined there would still be survivors in this wasteland. We haven't seen a woman in so long. The leader is instantly drooling with desire. Don't worry, we're good people. But what kind of good person would have an expression like that? Even a fool can tell he's up to no good. The man claims he won't hurt the girl, but will instead take good care of her. But the girl is already paralyzed with fear, hoping these hunters won't come any closer to harm her. The hunter shoves the woman down. Don't be afraid, we truly mean no harm. Then he reveals a thoroughly disgusting expression. We'll be very gentle. But at this moment, a cracking sound comes from behind. It's the sound of the floor shattering. Some things truly never change. You scum! My eyes fill with murderous intent as I glare at the 3 men. The man seems startled by this scene. Who's playing tricks? Who's there? Show yourself. If you dare interfere, you won't get away easily. As the hunter's words fall, 2 figures behind him charge forward rapidly. One companion wields dual blades, while the other appears to be a knight with a shield in one hand and a sword in the other. Don't get too cocky, you white-haired brat. In the next second, both figures rush toward me at high speed. However, I stand up without any hint of panic. With a slight flick of my arm, I slap one of them directly across the face. With a thud, this person crashes to the ground from my single slap without even a chance to resist. I sneer inwardly. Small fries like you, I could handle without even lifting a finger. Right at this moment, the other hunter thrusts his sword toward me, but I dodge it effortlessly. His movements are far too slow. As he lurches forward with momentum, I grab his arm. Terror floods the man's face as he feels intense pain radiating through his arm. Next, with slight pressure from my palm, I force his body downward. As he falls, my left knee drives into his face. This infuriates the hunter. Who the hell are you? I'm from Tiger Roar Guild. If you dare lay a finger on me, the guild will never let you go. What he doesn't know is that I just dealt with 4 members from his precious Tiger Roar Guild. I slowly call out his name. Shu Ying Han. Have you forgotten me so quickly? It's only been 5 short years. With that, I brush my hair aside to make it easier for him to recognize me. You personally ruined me before. Have you already forgotten the face you tried to kill? The man is utterly shocked. How is it possible for you to be here? You can't be Choi Yukdu, can you? Shu Ying Han is now completely terrified, crawling on the ground trying to escape while muttering impossible over and over. Yet for every step he retreats, I advance 1 step forward. I want him scared out of his wits. Shu Ying Han shouts in disbelief. Don't come any closer. Why are you still alive and standing here? I chuckle. Are you saying I'm not allowed to be here? As I speak, I slowly extend my palm toward him. Then I seize Shu Ying Han by the throat. Like lifting a chicken, I hoist him up with ease. You haven't forgotten 5 years ago, have you? You pushed me off that truck. Because of your push, I spent hundreds of years in the abyss. Do you have any idea what those hundreds of years were like for me? Fear fills Shu Ying Han's eyes. With just a bit more pressure, he would die on the spot. My knuckles crack. I stayed in the abyss for so long, a place just like hell. Now it's his turn to visit hell for a while. This bastard deserves what's coming. He constantly extorted me when we were in school and nearly killed me last time, so I'm going to shred every bit of his dignity. With my current strength, I'm practically invincible. A demon seems to materialize behind me, urging me to kill him, and this thought crosses my mind as well. But killing him might be letting him off too easy, wouldn't it? During our school days, everything he did to me was torture. That humiliation and helplessness I could never forget, even after all these years in the abyss. So today, I'm going to pay it all back with interest. What this guy did before left him with no way out. Every time he crushed my dignity into pieces and made me swallow it. In the next second, I release my grip and throw him to the ground. I don't plan to kill him now because I have a better way. As he gasps for fresh air, Shu Ying Han pants heavily. He feels like he almost died just now. I rub my eyes. After spending so many years in the abyss, I feel like I'm becoming assimilated with those demonic creatures. But I absolutely cannot let that happen. But this scum in front of me not only bullied me, but also tried to assault that woman just now. Who knows how many people he's victimized before. So I make a decision. I'll cripple him, leaving him able only to breathe through his mouth and do nothing else. Because wherever he exists, there will inevitably be victims. Shu Ying Han, you tried to kill me once but failed. I won't kill you, but I can't just let you walk away either. Shu Ying Han doesn't quite understand what I intend to do. For 2 years before, he bullied me every day at school. Those days were hellish. I remember he once beat up a kid over a piece of bread. I tell him we're about to settle the score. Now you just need to take 4 punches from me, and I'll let you go. After being released, the man seems to grasp at this lifeline, pleading with me. If you kill me with your current strength, the Hunter Guild will hunt you down too. I grab him by the collar and tell him not to worry about my safety. Those guild people can't do anything to me. Then, under his astonished gaze, I swing my first punch toward him. I don't use my full strength in this punch, but its power is still more than he can withstand. His body slams directly into the ground, his chest caving into the rubble beneath. Then comes the second punch. 2 consecutive attacks leave his 2 companions utterly stunned. With a splat, blood gushes from his body. The third punch lands viciously on his body once more. These punches are the interest for bullying me at school. By now, he can barely hold on, but I tell him to stand up. I'm not done yet, as long as you can withstand. One final attack, I'll let you go and won't trouble you anymore. Shu Ying Han tells me to just kill him. After these 3 punches, his body is practically ruined anyway. Living would be meaningless. I didn't tell him to stand up to listen to his nonsense. I stomped directly on his head. Remember, this is the price you pay for what you did to me. With a boom, my foot crushes his head heavily into the ground, grinding down hard. I keep my word. As long as he survives my 4 strikes, I absolutely won't bother him again. After these blows, Shu Ying Han's eyes are blinded. Excruciating pain shoots through every cell in his body. Now with severed limbs and total blindness, if left unattended, he probably won't survive much longer. But I won't let him die so easily. I tell his 2 companions to take him to a hospital for treatment. If Shu Ying Han dies, I'll make sure they meet the same fate. I hope Shu Ying Han knows better than to ever appear before me again. Otherwise, I'll beat him every single time I see him. After saying this, I push off and leave this place instantly. The most urgent matter now is reaching shelter number 6. I must hurry, otherwise my parents could be in danger at any moment. A whooshing sound cuts through the air at such speed that no human figure can be seen. Meanwhile, in the buffer zone of S City, 3 soldiers are chatting here at this moment. They would rather be stationed at the walls than fighting beasts in this place. At this moment, a soldier with the bearing of an officer walks over. Don't be so timid. If a beast appears, you better not wet yourselves. And one more thing, you must remain vigilant at all times because we cannot predict when the beast will appear next. This speaker is First Lieutenant Lee Han-jun. His subordinate reassures him that this is the buffer zone. Beasts from Zone X rarely appear here. We just need to stay alert. But no one expects that the moment his words fall, a beast's tentacle wraps around his entire body. Before the other soldiers can even react, they discover their companion is already dead. The beast that appears now is called Kraken Spawn, level 45, an armored beast. The lieutenant tells them to maintain formation and not to panic. Otherwise, everyone will die. They fire continuously, but unfortunately, their bullets cannot penetrate the beast's armor at all. Fury fills the beast's eyes as it scans the soldiers below, ready to kill a couple more for fun. The soldiers start to panic. This beast's level is far too high. Their weapons have absolutely no effect. If they stay here, they're only marching to their deaths. With a thunderous boom, the beast launches into the air, swiftly leaving its position. Its massive shadow creates an overwhelming sense of oppression. Seeing this, the lieutenant immediately orders his men to spread out. They absolutely cannot cluster together and give it an opening. But little does he know, the soldiers are already panicking, their legs growing weak. In the next moment, as the beast descends, its attack rushes toward the soldiers. A single claw instantly harvests one person's life. As this group of soldiers faces this threat, one brave soldier steps forward, shouting, "Everyone get back!" It turns out he's holding a large pack of explosives. "You damn bastard, today I'm taking you down with me." As soon as the words fall, his body rushes rapidly toward the octopus beast. His companions provide covering fire behind him. Before long, under the covering fire, the octopus beast's movements slow considerably. The soldier finally reaches the beast. When the soldier arrives before the octopus beast, he wants to find a weak point and deliver a fatal blow. But unexpectedly, the octopus beast actually stops attacking on its own. Not only that, fear fills the octopus beast's eyes. Thus, one soldier has his life spared. However, he's still curious in his heart. Why did the octopus beast suddenly stop attacking? In the next second, everyone hears cracking sounds coming from the beast's body. Everyone is extremely surprised. What should have been a pointless slaughter, yet this beast actually stopped on its own. All the team members are incredibly shocked. What on earth is happening? Even the squad captain shows a face full of alarm. He also hasn't figured out what exactly is happening. Fear fills the octopus beast's eyes. This makes them even more confused. They don't know what the octopus beast is afraid of. However, the brave soldier prepares to seize this opportunity and throw the explosive pack at its eyes. This is his only chance. With a light toss, he throws the explosive pack. Immediately, a terrifying explosion erupts. Massive flames engulf the entire body of the octopus beast. However, they're shocked to discover that even such a massive explosion still cannot harm the octopus beast. The reason is actually simple. The octopus beast's tentacles protect its eyes tightly. As long as the eyes aren't injured, this octopus beast won't die. The octopus beast's body advances slowly, approaching one soldier. Veins bulge in its eyeballs. This completely stuns the soldier who just threw the bomb. Such massive power, yet completely unharmed. How is this possible? The other soldiers have already fled in terror, while the octopus beast's tentacles fix on the soldier who threw the bomb. But at this moment, my figure suddenly appears. I stomp directly on the octopus beast's eye, crushing it. The octopus beast that was so invincible just moments ago instantly becomes a corpse. This scene leaves the soldier utterly dumbfounded. The lieutenant's face also shows complete disbelief. Could it be that the cracking sounds the octopus beast made were because it feared his arrival? At this moment, I slowly stand up, my eyes filled with murderous intent. I didn't expect to encounter military personnel here. Perfect timing to ask them how far shelter number 6 is. Even now, the lieutenant still finds it hard to believe. This man actually killed with a single strike the beast that survived that explosion. His gaze instantly sharpens. He's never seen anyone like me before. This is definitely S rank destructive power, possibly even beyond S rank. So the lieutenant decides he must identify who I am, no matter the cost. But soon he receives a system notification. Special ability insight cannot be used, most likely because the level gap is too great. The lieutenant is greatly shocked. This is the first time he's encountered such a situation. I've been in this world for several hours now and have learned some basic things, but my system still won't open. The lieutenant at this moment has also exhausted considerable energy, because activating that ability may cost him several years of lifespan. I merely glance indifferently. In that instant just now, I seem to feel someone observing me. Then I slowly walk toward that soldier. I have something to ask him. I want to ask him how far shelter number 6 is from here. The soldier kindly reminds me, from here, it's 10 kilometers north. However, you must pass through Zone X to get there. This brings my confusion to its peak. What is this guy talking about? What is Zone X? It turns out this is where they contain the beast tide. Beasts are concentrated here to minimize combat damage, and many hunters fight beasts there. As I listen to the soldier speak, I also hear other soldiers' voices nearby. Wow, today's drops are all rare items. In the abyss, killing monsters yields black crystals, but I didn't expect that defeating beasts in the real world would also drop treasures. It's just like a game. Having just emerged from the abyss, I have no idea about my own strength level. I ask the soldier, how strong was that beast you just faced? Hearing this, sweat appears on the soldier's face. A level 45 beast is quite formidable. It's not something he could handle at all. Even an entire squad probably couldn't handle it. So a low-level monster from the abyss already puts them in such difficulty? I ask again, how many beasts above level 45 are in the beast nests? The soldier's face immediately turns grim. There are probably no more than 100 in that place. If such beasts were everywhere, humanity would have been wiped out long ago. After finishing my questions, I prepare to leave. This leaves the soldier speechless. Just how powerful must one be to have such tremendous confidence? As I'm about to leave, the soldier hurriedly catches up to me. Wait a moment. I stop and turn my head toward him, signaling him to speak. If it's not too difficult, I can agree to his request. He bows respectfully to me. I hope you can make a trip to Zone X. I know it's very dangerous there, but if there's a hunter as powerful as you, I believe many people could be saved. If I remember correctly, he mentioned earlier that the shortest route to the shelter is through Zone X. I agree quite readily. I'll help you clear out Zone X. Although Zone X isn't on my agenda, I'll be passing through it on my way to shelter number 6, so I'll eliminate those beasts while I'm at it. Not just Zone X, but every beast I encounter along the way will be eliminated. 10 minutes later, at the rear military camp behind the front lines, the lieutenant who suffered backlash earlier slowly regains consciousness. Seeing him wake up, his subordinate soldiers are extremely excited. Lieutenant, you're finally awake. The first thing the lieutenant does upon waking is ask how long he was unconscious. You were out for about 10 minutes, but thanks to the recovery item dropped by the beast, it took effect immediately. Otherwise, sir, you might have been unconscious for much longer. The lieutenant doesn't respond to the soldier's words. Never mind my condition. I want to know, where did the hunter who saved us go? The soldier tells the truth, informing the lieutenant that I headed north. The lieutenant instinctively holds his head. It still aches, and he murmurs the word north, but suddenly he senses something wrong. What did you just say? Say that again. The soldier at this moment also seems to notice something amiss. That mysterious hunter is now heading to shelter number 6. The lieutenant's voice instantly becomes grave. Did he mention crossing Zone X? On this point, the soldier nods. However, judging from his expression, he seemed completely unconcerned about the beasts in Zone X, so he left here without hesitation. After hearing this, the officer turns his head in fury. He's incredibly frustrated inside. After finally encountering such a powerful hunter, he's about to die so soon. Contact Central Command Center immediately. The soldier seems startled. Central Command Center? Lieutenant, are you sure you're not mistaken? The lieutenant's heart races with urgency. There are probably about 10 minutes left. We might still make it in time. During these few minutes, the lieutenant checks his watch countless times. Suddenly, another soldier enters. I've already sent the message via emergency radio. We should get a response soon. However, the soldier has a question. Why Central Command Center? Is there something we don't know about? The lieutenant speaks slowly. This operation is different from previous ones. This information is classified at a high level, so you were not informed. Zone X, which serves as the base for this operation, is not within our beast containment perimeter, but this area is extremely dangerous because it has been designated as a bombing zone. Meanwhile, at Central Command Center, a woman speaks rapidly. Emergency call from BZZ Zone. The heavyset man sitting in the central chair slowly says 2 words. Connect. This is Central Commander Hwang Tae-young, a level 58 flame mage. Upon receiving the order, the woman swiftly connects the call. At this moment, Central Command receives an urgent battle report from First Lieutenant Lee Han-jun. After receiving approval to accept, the woman types rapidly on the keyboard. The communication is quickly connected. Communication code WB342. This is First Lieutenant Lee Han-jun. There is an extremely urgent special situation to report. Then the lieutenant recounts the earlier encounter with me. Just moments ago, a mysterious hunter has entered the bombing zone. He is unaware of this operation. Hwang Tae-young stares at him with cold eyes. So you're only here to report your mistake? If that's the case, there will be consequences. Hearing Hwang Tae-young's attitude, he can't help but lower his head. Even as a lieutenant, he cannot afford to offend Hwang Tae-young. The lieutenant feels it necessary to issue an emergency broadcast to notify about the incoming bombardment. The reason the lieutenant insists so strongly is because he believes I'm extremely powerful. He doesn't want to let me die like this. Just now, the lieutenant's words were transmitted verbatim. His words pique Hwang Tae-young's interest. You're saying he's an exceptionally powerful hunter? Then Hwang Tae-young asks a crucial question. If he's such a powerful hunter, then what is his level? The lieutenant doesn't know my power level because when he tried to check, he couldn't detect my information. Hearing this, Hwang Tae-young almost laughs out loud. Is this how you conduct yourself as a lieutenant? A hunter of unknown level who didn't follow protocol entered the bombing zone, and you want me to issue an emergency broadcast for him? Are you joking? At this moment, the woman beside him speaks. That hunter will very likely be dead before any message is even sent. The two continually mock the lieutenant. You may lack brains, but you certainly have talent for comedy. Actually contacting us over such a trivial matter. After saying this, he glances at the woman beside him. It seems they haven't been taught enough to stand independently. What kind of teacher is responsible for this? At this moment, they seem to be chatting casually. While I have no position to interfere with your subordinate's actions, this subordinate of yours is rather ridiculous. Furthermore, if I report to superiors that you obstructed operational progress, all responsibility will fall on you. Now you make a decision. In Park Soo-jin's eyes, facing such a formidable enemy, is he really going to drag his own people down? She feels the heavy-set man beside her is an incompetent fool without any command ability. If this heavy-set man didn't have some talent and the backing forces behind him, he would never have reached this position. Then Park Soo-jin shifts her gaze to her subordinate. The lieutenant I carefully cultivated is now attempting to save a complete stranger, even if it means abandoning the operation. She has known the lieutenant for a long time. He doesn't seem like a fool, but rather an intelligent person. Now that he's defending this unknown hunter so vigorously, that alone proves how powerful this individual must be. The lieutenant somewhat dares not meet Park Soo-jin's eyes. He can only silently lower his head. After pondering for a long while, Park Soo-jin finally makes a decision. She cannot offend the heavyset man, but must also give the lieutenant an opportunity. Then she speaks slowly. I believe you absolutely did not intentionally interfere with our plan. There must be your reasons for this, so I'll give you a chance to convince me. Otherwise, this operation will continue, and I will personally have you court-martialed. This response serves dual purposes, both giving him an opportunity and avoiding offense to the forces behind the heavyset man. But at this moment, the lieutenant is speechless. He only met me a few minutes ago and doesn't know how to make a judgment. Moreover, if he goes to military tribunal, he's finished. Won't those in power simply dictate whatever they want? The woman turns toward Hwang Tae-young beside her. You should be quite satisfied with this response, shouldn't you? Let's at least hear his reasoning. This greatly displeases Hwang Tae-young, though he doesn't dare challenge Park Soo-jin. After all, she's an S-rank hunter. He then vents all his displeasure on the lieutenant. Lieutenant. First Lieutenant Lee Han-jun, please give me an acceptable reason now. Otherwise, Park Soo-jin and I will have you court-martialed together. Hearing this, the lieutenant knows there's no way out, so he reveals everything directly. The person I'm referring to killed a level 45 juvenile Kraken spawn with a single strike. Hearing her subordinate report this, Park Soo-jin's eyes fill with shock. It's simply too outrageous. If it's truly as the subordinate says, wouldn't he be even more powerful than an A-rank hunter? Could he be a military S-rank hunter? If he's truly military personnel, then we absolutely must rescue him. However, his words are disrupted by Hwang Tae-young beside her. What you're saying is absolutely impossible. All S-rank personnel have assigned missions, and there's no confirmed signal from BZZ. He's most likely just a wild hunter. Although Park Soo-jin is somewhat shocked, her rationality remains. Why don't you know his level? Don't you have insight ability? This doesn't quite add up, does it? Regarding Park Soo-jin's question, the lieutenant is somewhat at a loss for words. He doesn't know what the situation was either. After using his skill, he couldn't see my level and wasted some lifespan. Most importantly, I actually suffered backlash from trying to view his information. This has never happened to me before. At this point, Park Soo-jin is completely dumbfounded. She knows that the lieutenant had previously checked her information too. Although it wasn't easy, he did uncover some information. This alone demonstrates that Hunter's tremendous power. The level gap is too great, so he couldn't view it. The lieutenant speaks again. This person is truly formidable. If I hadn't lost consciousness from trying to view his information, I absolutely would not have let him enter the bombing zone. At this point, even Hwang Tae-young loses his composure. If you cannot view his information, he has at least reached level 100. The entire command center falls silent. You could hear a pin drop as they need to process the information they've just received. Hwang Tae-young's hand taps continuously on the chair. This situation is indeed extremely rare. Then Hwang Tae-young makes a decision. I know that Hunter is strong, but this cannot be a reason to halt the operation. As soon as the words fall, another person stands up. This is Eastern Commander Shu Ying-hao, level 44, a mage. He also agrees with Hwang Tae-young's decision. We cannot abandon our military responsibilities based on such uncertain reasons. This operation involves thousands of soldiers from 4 different corps, with sufficient forces to completely surround the bombing zone and buffer zone. The original plan is for garrison soldiers to eliminate scattered beasts after the bombardment. However, if an emergency broadcast is issued, the beasts will also react to that sound. In that case, all beasts will converge on the same location simultaneously. Should this occur, the entire region will be completely overrun. These are the lives of thousands of soldiers. To exchange the life of one hunter for thousands upon thousands of soldiers, he simply cannot do it. Then his face shows a sorrowful expression. Even if he's an S-rank hunter, we absolutely cannot take this risk. I'm truly sorry. After hearing this news, First Lieutenant Lee Han-jun's heart sinks. He truly cannot bear to see such an outstanding hunter die in the bombing zone. However, the final decision still rests with the commander. He wants to hear her response. At this moment, Park Soo-jin also shows a pained expression. At this point, she opens her mouth slightly, thinking that both senior commanders have rejected his proposal. If this continues, the situation may deteriorate further. So Park Soo-jin rejects the lieutenant's request. We absolutely cannot waste so many people's efforts for one person. This decision is final and not subject to objection. Then the video call before Lee Han-jun slowly disappears. No matter how Lee Han-jun calls out, no sound comes from the device anymore. At this moment, all 3 people in the tent hang their heads low. Lee Han-jun is so furious he crushes the communication device with cracking sounds. Even the commander doesn't understand him. Does he look like a fool? The soldier beside him pats his shoulder. Lieutenant, you've done your best. Please don't blame yourself. At this moment, Lee Han-jun is filled with immense frustration. He hates himself for having so little authority that he cannot help at all. The nation is about to lose such a powerful hunter. Although his face is filled with unwillingness, he absolutely cannot disobey the decision made above. At this moment, the soldier beside him has a flash in his eyes, as if seeing a ray of hope. Just now, he inadvertently glanced at the key at the lieutenant's waist. This soldier has no hesitation whatsoever and directly snatches the key. Noticing this, the lieutenant is quite perplexed. What do you intend to do? Why are you taking my key? It turns out that just now, the soldier thought of a solution: to drive to the bombing zone and warn that S-rank hunter. There are still 6 minutes until the bombardment. Perhaps he can still make it in time. The soldier moves with lightning speed, quickly opening the car door and starting the ignition. He prays continuously in his heart. I must make it in time. Seeing this scene, the lieutenant is extremely furious. You young fool, do you also want to be court-martialed? Get back here immediately. If anyone should go, it should be me. But the soldier doesn't listen to him at all and floors the accelerator, speeding away. Seeing this situation, another soldier urgently speaks. Lieutenant, quickly order him brought back. Otherwise, he truly won't be able to return. However, the lieutenant merely pulls his cap lower and does not stop the soldier. Since he has this determination, let him go. Even if he didn't go, I would have gone myself. The only thing we can do now is pray that the decision he made won't betray him. But you must come back alive, you reckless fool. Meanwhile, that soldier speeds rapidly forward. There are less than 5 minutes remaining until the bombardment. Driving might not be quite fast enough. At this moment, this young soldier doesn't know that what he's doing now will change an entire world, because the person he's now attempting to save will become the hope of all humanity. At this moment, the young soldier keeps searching for my trail. His heart fills with anxiety, having no idea where I've gone. He's now taking the fastest route on the eastern side, with his gas pedal pressed all the way down. But if he still can't find any trace of me along this route, it means I'm moving faster than his vehicle. Soon the vehicle reaches the area close to Zone X. The soldier can't help thinking that if he turns on the loudspeaker, I should be able to hear it, but he doesn't have the courage, because if he turns on the loudspeaker, all the monsters will lock onto him, and then there will be no escape. As he hesitates and struggles, time slips away quietly. Only 2 minutes remain before the indiscriminate attack begins. Thinking of this, the young soldier slowly reaches his hand toward the loudspeaker ahead. It doesn't matter. My life is worthless anyway. If I can save that hunter, it's definitely more valuable than me staying alive. The next moment, he no longer hesitates and grabs the loudspeaker firmly, bringing it to his mouth mouth to speak. But just as he's about to open his mouth, his voice trembles uncontrollably, unable to make any sound no matter how hard he tries. More than 10 seconds pass this way, with his vehicle still driving forward continuously. He feels like he's a disgrace to the military. Such a coward doesn't deserve to be part of the army. But is he really a coward? If he truly feared death, he wouldn't have come here in the first place. He takes a deep breath, gathers all his strength at his lips, and shouts loudly, "Mysterious hunter, I'm the soldier you helped before. I don't know if you're nearby, and I don't know if this voice can reach you, but if you hear this, please leave immediately, because this area is about to be bombed. Our commander couldn't stop this operation that was planned long ago, so I came to notify you to evacuate quickly. Otherwise, you'll definitely die in this explosion." His voice echoes through the entire street, repeating the words he just said over and over, and I stop when I hear his voice. So he came looking for me. I check the surroundings. No wonder there isn't a single hunter around. This place is about to be bombed. My fingers crack as I clench them. The monsters in the city can't harm me at all, but I don't know if my own strength can withstand high temperatures. After all, I don't understand the country's advanced technology, since they have the confidence to use these bombs to kill these monsters. Perhaps my body might not be able to withstand it either. Even if I can endure it, I might be severely injured. The next second, my figure begins to flicker as I search for the direction of the sound. This young soldier came to such a dangerous place just to inform me about the bombing, so I absolutely cannot let him die here. On the other side, this soldier is so anxious he's nearly in tears. He has already reached the central area, but still cannot find any trace of me. Meanwhile, at 4:59:25 p.m., a group of monsters flies toward the direction of the sound. At 4:59:32 p.m., these monsters have already arrived in front of the soldier. Terror fills the soldier's face. This is really the end. Just as I guessed, my voice has attracted the monsters. At 4:59:38 p.m., the soldier quickly jerks the steering wheel. He must get out of here immediately. At 4:59:49 p.m., his right foot presses down on the brake. He brakes because he thinks of me. I'm still out here and haven't evacuated to the safe zone. If he leaves like this, there will be no one left to notify that hunter. But just as he prepares to continue holding the loudspeaker and convey information to me while driving, a massive monster drops down in front of him. At this moment, the soldier is already paralyzed with fear, completely failing to notice me beside him, knocking on his car window. When he finally reacts, he sees me looking at him with a bewildered expression. "Thank God you are still alive." I ask him what he meant by those words. Is this area really about to be bombed? However, the soldier has no time to answer my question, because the time has reached 4:59:59 p.m. In just one more second, this place will be bombed. With a beep, the time crosses to 5 p.m. sharp. Bombs whoosh from headquarters toward the bombing zone. In the blink of an eye, all those bombs fly toward the monsters and city buildings, turning this place completely into a battlefield of flames. When the bombs hit the buildings, the airflow they carry sends rocks flying in our direction. At this moment, I stomp hard on the ground. Immediately, many stone walls emerge from the ground. The flying debris that just came is all batted down by my single hand, leaving the vehicle and that soldier behind me completely unharmed. On the other side, the command center monitors every action here constantly. They bombed Zone X simultaneously from 5 directions. Now that the bombing is complete, they should have eliminated quite a few monsters. Huang Taeyong says with a serious expression, "Deploy the drones. Assess how many monsters we eliminated this time and in which direction the survivors are moving." But what puzzles them is that the drones aren't detecting any life signs now. The people at the command center are very curious about where these monsters have gone. But just a few seconds later, this woman shows a shocked expression. These monsters are still inside the bombing zone. Not only that, the monsters at the bombing center are also completely unharmed. This startles the two people at headquarters. How is this possible? Our weapons can't have any problems. Monsters below level 50 shouldn't be able to withstand such a fierce attack. Park Soo-jin slowly speaks. "Switch to the drone footage first. Let's see what the scene looks like over there." Then that woman rapidly controls the distant drone on the keyboard. She syncs all the footage from the drone to the large screen at the command center. Everyone's eyes fix on the large screen. Soon, the drone footage appears on the large screen. A layer of red defensive barrier surrounds those monsters. No one knows how this defensive barrier formed. Generally speaking, monsters can't possibly have such a skill. But at this moment, they discover a cloaked man standing on the monster's shoulder, and he has white hair. Everyone seems to have their doubts resolved. This protective barrier must be coming from this man. The next second, the footage cuts off abruptly because the drone was attacked by monsters. They prepare to deploy another drone, but as soon as it flies over the monsters, they lock onto it as a target. Immediately, this other drone also loses its feed. The monster's palm simply squeezes gently and crushes the drone into a ball. At this point, the command center has completely lost contact with Zone Tex because all their drones have been destroyed. Park Soo-jin's expression becomes extremely grim. They said this attack would be different, but what was that just now? A bold speculation emerges in Park Soo-jin's mind. Could it be that these monsters have gained intelligence and know we're using drones to scout them? This startles the senior commander greatly. If this is true, things will be terrible. He immediately gives orders to begin evacuation from the residential area. All soldiers must evacuate. At the same time, Park Soo-jin also issues orders. Everyone must retreat and hold the walls. This is the final line. These monsters absolutely cannot be allowed to break out of Zone X. However, the receiver's next words shock them all on the spot. These monsters' target doesn't seem to be the civilians. Instead, they're heading to Zone B22, as if something there is attracting them. Looking at the display on the equipment, they appear to be entering Zone B22. Park Soo-jin immediately thinks of something. That seems to be where the mysterious person went, but why do those monsters also want to go to that place? Park Soo-jin immediately orders to dispatch all remaining drones to Zone B2. They must find out what stopped the monsters' advance. At this time, Zone B2 has stopped being bombed, but this place has already turned into ruins. After the explosion stopped, that soldier finally dares to get out of the vehicle. He truly can't believe that he actually survived this explosion. Just as he approaches me with excitement to chat, he finds me staring straight ahead without blinking. I turn my head and tell him to leave here immediately, because you're alive, which means the monsters are also still alive, and they're heading our way. But at this moment, my gaze flashes as I see see an attack flying toward us. Just as the attack is about to hit that soldier, I push him down to the ground, but when we look closely, it's actually a military drone. This shocks that soldier tremendously. Monsters actually attacked a drone. How is this possible? This kind of thing has never happened before. I tell him not to be surprised yet. An even bigger surprise awaits you. Looking up, hundreds of monsters ahead of us are slowly walking toward us. The soldier's heart fills with tremendous shock. What is going on? Monsters have never concentrated like this before. Moreover, these creatures have terrifyingly high levels. They're all level 50 and level 60 monsters. They are the highest level group among this batch of monsters. Their leader is level 90. Seeing this scene, the soldier collapses directly onto the ground. We're finished. There's absolutely no way we're getting out alive. I tell him not to be so discouraged. If even bombing can't kill them, it's not like I don't have other methods. And my method is much simpler than their bombing. Just beat all these monsters to death. As soon as the words leave my mouth, I leap up and charge forward. I tell this soldier to quickly hide inside the jeep. Everywhere my figure passes, all the monsters are stomped to death by me. And my ultimate target is this highest level monster. A figure seems to be standing on his shoulder. I want to see exactly who is playing tricks here. Just as I'm about to rush over, a monster blocks my path and swings the iron hammer in his hand. But what he doesn't expect is that this iron hammer is blocked by my single hand. I sneer inwardly. You think such a simple attack can hurt me? How ridiculous. The next second, this level 60 monster before me rises into the air. Immediately, my large hand presses down heavily and slams his body onto the ground. Then my steps don't stop. Instead, I charge toward that figure on the monster's shoulder with a terrifyingly frightening aura. Seeing my assault, that monster instantly raises a shield, preparing to block my attack. But in my eyes, his so-called defense doesn't exist at all. I slowly raise my fist and gather my full strength. With a boom, this monster close to level 60 is shattered by my single punch. His entire head is smashed apart. In an instant, his head turns into ruins like a blood mist, and I arrive opposite the figure on his shoulder. When I come before him, I can't help but feel greatly alarmed, because I can't sense any aura emanating from his body at all. If I hadn't seen this figure with my own eyes, I probably wouldn't have noticed him at all. This makes me feel this is tricky. This guy's strength is definitely not comparable to those monsters. The man's crisp voice slowly says, "I've finally been waiting for you." The next second, the head I just shattered now seems to have something healing it. In just a moment, that head returns to its original position, as if my previous attack didn't cause him much damage. Not only that, what surprises me is that this monster actually speaks human language. "You thief, give me back my stuff." I look at him speechlessly. What is this guy even talking about? When did I steal anything from you? To this, the man laughs strangely. At the same time, a red energy bursts from his palm. He says I stole his things, so I must repay with my life. A moment later, black sharp swords appear behind me. This seems to be his ability to summon weapons. The next second, with a crack, I crush the weapon in his hand. Just this little thing can't hurt me. He can't even break through my body's defense. My gaze locks onto that person. If this is all you've got, then you will die. Having said that, I point the weapon he summoned at him. First, take off your cloak and let me see your true face. The next second, that massive beast reaches toward me. With a slap, his enormous hand strikes down on the shoulder, trying to use brute force to smash me to death. At the same time, a drone flies in the air, monitoring our scene. That man just glances at it indifferently. Isn't that a surveillance device made by humans? Did it come specifically to monitor me? On the other side, the instant the giant's hand strikes down, I push it back up. My figure swiftly charges in the man's direction. If you really want to kill me, you better take it seriously. Otherwise, you won't possibly be able to kill me. But this cloaked man seems very dismissive of my attack. I sneer inwardly. I didn't expect that after becoming the strongest in the abyss for 500 years, on my first day back on Earth, I would be looked down upon. The next second, I thought my attack would pierce the man, but unexpectedly he suddenly disappears and flies away as a wisp of smoke, and the weapon that was about to pierce him now pierces the monster's shoulder. This makes me very confused. How did he disappear? The man's figure slowly appears at the monster's feet. Being watched by such despicable humans is truly disgusting. The next second, the cloaked man slowly raises his hand, with airflow swirling around it. It turns out he's controlling the monsters to obey his commands and ordering them to destroy the drones and eliminate the remaining human observers. At this moment, inside a ruined building. Inside this building, a man remotely controls a drone, observing the actions outside. A moment later, he discovers his drone has been destroyed. But fortunately, he completed his mission and recorded video footage. In his footage, he sees my figure. He speculates this might be the reason the monsters changed direction. Shock fills his eyes. Could it be? Is he that hunter who faced the beast tied alone? Indeed, you can sense his strength just from his stance. Just as he prepares to report his situation to the commander, a monster's hand quietly appears behind him. However, this monster doesn't attack him. Instead, it helps close the door, probably preparing to trap him like a turtle in a jar. This makes that soldier feel helpless. He truly didn't expect to be discovered so quickly. The next second, I turn my head and see several octopus monsters climbing up the building. The man laughs loudly. My servants, kill them all. At this moment, I recall what the soldier told me before. If there's a powerful hunter, I believe many people might be saved. This is why the soldier disregarded his own safety to notify me to escape quickly, all to let me save more people. At the same time, this soldier's vehicle is trapped by some rubble and can't be driven out at all. This makes me set a certain decision in my heart. The next second, my body descends from above. To hunt enemies, I must first take down their leader, because only this way will the enemy's leader have no ability to hunt our people. In no time, my figure arrives below. If I want to save as many people as possible, I must eliminate my enemy as quickly as possible. At the same time, that giant monster also launches an attack at me. I instantly retreat and dodge his attack. I feel something seems off. After that monster merged with that man, his attack power seems to have increased. On the other side, while I'm dealing with that monster's offense, the mysterious man also launches an attack on me. Watching his figure approach, I don't panic. You're really persistent. Do you want my life that badly? At this very moment, I discover something that shocks me tremendously. This guy before me looks exactly like me, but I don't have much time to to think, because that guy has already summoned a black longsword. This is definitely not good news for me, because I sense extremely powerful energy fluctuations contained in that sword. At this moment, the man slowly speaks. I will kill you, you thief from the abyss. I will take back everything I lost. Without another word, he swiftly thrusts the sword at me, but I've already seen through his attack trajectory. As he attacks, I also swing my fist. With a snap, my fist strikes heavily on his wrist. The intense impact forces him to drop the sword in his hand, and at this very moment, my left hand snatches that sword away. I give him no time to react. The instant I seize the sword, I assume a slashing stance. He absolutely cannot dodge this strike. A terrified expression appears on the man's face. With a bang, I swiftly swing the sword in my hand, but no piercing sensation comes from my hand. I didn't expect him to still escape this strike. His ability is very strange. Even I haven't heard of it before. He can actually nullify his own body. At this moment, I carefully examine the energy of this sword. I don't know if it's my imagination, but this sword's energy feels very familiar to me. I sense it once more. This definitely can't be wrong. This sword contains the power of the abyss. This is truly a pleasant surprise. I didn't expect the outside earth to also have such an aura. I really seized a good treasure this time. The cloaked man's face fills with anger. Do you only know how to steal other people's weapons? The next second, he lightly waves his claw. Immediately, the weapon in my hand vanishes like ashes. So this is the power of the abyss. It seems there are still many uses I haven't discovered yet. The upcoming battle will probably be even more intense. I need to first send that soldier to a safe place. Then I ask him if he's afraid of heights. He says he's not. Hearing this, I directly lift the entire vehicle up. I tell him to hold on tight, hold on, because there will definitely be violent shaking when I run. I'll send you back to headquarters first. But who knew the cloaked man would show a wild smile at this moment? You fool, I've caught your weakness. You want to protect him, then I'll just kill him. As soon as the words fall, massive abyss power appears on his palm. The strong do not exist to protect the weak. They exist to become the strongest. As the cloaked man's palm swings down, an attack appears behind me. This makes me feel he's really being relentlessly persistent. Even if I run away now, this black orb will catch up. So I slowly set the vehicle down on the ground. In that case, I'll destroy it first. The next moment, my figure leaps up. After I crush this orb, I'll take the soldier back. Then I gather all my power in my right fist, preparing to destroy it with one punch. Immediately, my fist strikes this black orb. I thought I succeeded, but I quickly realized there's no impact sensation at all. Looking up, the real black orb is hidden behind the black mist. But at this moment, I hear the soldiers cry below. I sense trouble. What a good diversion tactic. At this moment, I can't be in two places at once, and the cloaked man's attack has already taken control of the entire vehicle. I can only shout loudly, telling him to jump out of the car quickly. Even if he breaks a bone, it's better than dying inside the car. Little does he know, many black vines have appeared inside the vehicle. The cloaked man's voice sounds beside the soldier's ear. You don't need to be afraid, you poor little lamb. I'll take you home soon. Immediately, I witness an extremely enraging scene. Those soft vines from just now instantly transform into spikes and pierce through the entire vehicle. This means the soldier died inside the car. My body swiftly approaches the vehicle, wanting to see if the soldier can still be saved. Seeing me like this, the cloaked man seems very happy. Are you angry now? Don't get so worked up. But the angrier you are, the happier I am. With a snap, I directly break off his spike attack. At this moment, the soldier's corpse has been suspended by him. Open your eyes and look at this soldier. His corpse is still moving, and this is a very evil ability called necromancy, which can make dead corpses move again. The cloaked man acts like a victor, constantly showing off above. I want to watch with wide open eyes as all the people you care about die before your eyes. This feeling is truly wonderful. What he doesn't know is that this behavior has completely enraged me. Today, either you die or I perish. My mouth slightly opens as I speak. Do you also take pleasure in trampling on others' dignity? This reminds me of how I was bullied by those people in school. Seeing my angry expression, the cloaked man becomes even more excited. Please don't state such obvious things, okay? Where's the fun in that? Then he begins to launch an attack on me. Countless sharp stones rapidly fly out from his palm. Facing these attacks, I don't dodge. Instead, I let these attacks hit my body, because I know these attacks aren't lethal to me. After hearing his answer, I appear very calm. But the anger in my heart has already reached volcanic eruption levels. Then my figure instantly disappears from the original spot. When I reappear, I've already arrived on the ground and assume an aggressive stance. Scum like you shouldn't be alive in this world. The next second, I take a deep breath and pour all my strength into my fist. If you've got the guts, don't run today. Have a life and death duel with me. I guarantee I'll fight you to the end. The next second, the cloaked man on the car directly disappears from the spot. Facing such a powerful attack, he won't be foolish enough to take it head on. Not running would be idiotic. With a boom, I strike out with a punch, as if to tear apart this very space. Just the airflow from the swing shatters all those spikes of his. I stare at him through gritted teeth. You better pray I don't catch an opportunity, otherwise I'll definitely smash his head with one punch. Then I catch the falling soldier. He's already dead now. I can't let his corpse be attacked again. The violent collision causes debris to fly across the ground. But unfortunately, even though the soldier is dead, he still has to be controlled by the cloaked man. Regarding the soldier, the guilt in my heart weighs tremendously heavy. I'm truly very sorry for involving this soldier in this turmoil. Then I place him inside the car door. Good brother, I swear to heaven that I will definitely avenge you today. After handling the soldier's matter, next comes his turn. A life for a life, blood for blood. The next second, my speed explodes to the extreme. In the blink of an eye, I arrive before him so fast he can barely react. But what's strange to me is that my fist can't hit his body. Did he use abyss power to evade my attack? Then, I don't know what happened, but he suddenly appears behind me. You rookie who can't even control abyss power dare to fight me. This is suicide, I sneer inwardly. You fool, you finally fell for it. Immediately, I backhand punch him in the cheek, directly caving in his face. After being hit by my punch, the cloaked man's figure continuously flies backward, then crashes onto the ground with a clang. I shake off the blood on my hand. You're not my opponent at all. Why act so arrogant in front of me? You really need a beating to learn your lesson. At this moment, the cloaked man still controls monsters to block in front of me, probably trying to buy himself some time to escape. He asks me with a puzzled expression, "How exactly did you hurt me?" Facing his question, I appear before him like teleportation. "You idiot, people grow up. How could someone never learn anything? You just die here honestly today and accompany my brother in death." Now the cloaked man is completely terrified. He's never seen someone with such strong learning ability. If the fight continues, he'll definitely die. Then he jumps onto the monster's shoulder, wanting to escape. However, how could I below possibly let him succeed? I leap up, jumping to the same height as him. "You think you can run after killing my brother? How could there be such an easy way out?" But this guy is much more cunning than I thought. When I jump into midair, he quickly escapes downward. At this moment, the cloaked man is completely terrified. This guy is actually even more tenacious than I imagined. My gaze filled with killing intent stares at him. "You might escape from my hands, but let me see how you dodge this next move." The next moment, massive energy crashes down with my punch. This time I use an attack of abyss power. "You bastard, I will definitely kill you today." The power of this punch directly shatters the monster's body. But what I didn't expect is that the monster's body actually begins to reconnect. But this time I won't let him succeed. My hands instantly grasp the severed parts of the monster's wound. I directly tear out all that abyss power from the monster. The monster stares at me with fearful eyes. "How exactly did you do that?" Without the support of abyss power, his body begins to burn away completely. Then I leap down chasing the cloaked man. "Don't think you can escape from my grasp today." This scene enrages the cloaked man greatly. Helplessly, he can only release his ultimate move. He shouts from his mouth, "Shadow Union!" All the surrounding monsters have their abyss power extracted by him. In this instant, a terrifying aura erupts from the cloaked man's body. The cloaked man strikes me with half of the abyss power on his body, causing my eyes to barely open. At this moment, I seem to see a figure flash past before my eyes. A moment later, the place where I am returns to calm, and the cloaked man has also disappeared without a trace. This leaves me stunned. So he used such a powerful skill just to escape? I directly throw my shattered clothes onto the ground. Although my clothes are damaged, fortunately the photo of my parents is still intact. Opening the car door, I see the soldier inside has become a corpse. It seems the necromancy has been lifted from his body. I pull off the pendant from his neck. Then I dig a pit and bury this soldier here. This time it's because of me that this soldier died here. At least I need to take something back for him. When I think of that cloaked man who looks exactly like me, I become extremely angry. This can't end like this. He absorbed so many shadows before and could launch an attack at any time. There's also one thing he said before that I care about very much, watching the people I care about die before my eyes. It seems I need to reach the shelter quickly next. I absolutely cannot let him arrive before me. The next moment, I stomp my feet and swiftly leave this place. My body moves like lightning, continuing towards shelter number 6. What I don't know is that everything that just happened between us was all recorded by the drone on the ground. 15 minutes later, Park Soo-jin also arrives at this place. She tells her subordinates behind her to search thoroughly and make sure not to miss even a single rat. A soldier sees the footage captured by the drone and feels greatly shocked. The footage shows all the monsters have been completely eliminated. Park Soo-jin, the S-rank hunter, feels her scalp tingle. She tells her subordinates to check the drone data and report all information. She sees obvious battle traces here. That powerful hunter Lee Han-jun mentioned before not only survived this bombing, but also cleared out the entire monster nest. Even an S-rank probably couldn't accomplish this. At this moment, Park Soo-jin's subordinate makes a new discovery. Now, there's actually an intact drone on the ground. His expression looks fierce. The SD card on this drone is in very good condition. I can read the data out right now. A minute later, Park Soo-jin sees the footage from the drone. Park Soo-jin watches the footage from the drone from beginning to end, not missing even a trace of suspicious evidence. She sees the soldier who reported to me earlier, and beside him stands a white-haired man. That must be the mysterious hunter. While Park Soo-jin watches the drone footage, the soldiers under her command are collecting treasures dropped by the monsters. Soon, one soldier discovers a treasure on the ground glowing with purple light. Information appears above it. This white bottle is a special energy potion that permanently increases the user's magical power. The white sword is an A-rank weapon, the ancient royal dagger. What intrigues him most is the golden box. Its information cannot be identified at all. Just as he's about to pick these items up, a soldier behind him suddenly asks, "What did you find?" He immediately clutches all the treasures to his chest, claiming he found nothing. Before he can react, the man above jumps down with a sinister laugh. This startles the soldier, terrified the man will expose what he's doing. The man sees the box's value at a glance. If I'm not mistaken, this was dropped by the assault leader. It looks like a rare item. Even its information can't be read. His lips curl into a smirk. Keeping military property for yourself is a crime. You know what to do, don't you? The soldier's heart sinks. Is he really going to expose me? If so, I'm finished. Left with no choice, he proposes splitting the treasures. If you expose me, you won't get any of these either. The man seems satisfied with this proposal and directly picks the golden box. The soldier protests. This box clearly contains a legendary item. How can I just hand it over? The man grabs his shoulder. You have no choice. Either let me pick first or I'll report you. Helpless. The soldier has to give him the golden box. After obtaining the golden box, the man reveals an evil expression. I finally gotten this puppet relic. Meanwhile, after a long sprint, I finally arrive at shelter number 6. I carefully observe the surroundings. It doesn't look like there have been any monster attacks recently. The place is heavily guarded, with heavy weapons positioned at the rear. The people coming and going seem quite normal. This shelter must have powerful individuals protecting it. I move forward, preparing to enter the shelter. My mind keeps thinking about that cloaked man earlier. I couldn't sense his presence at all. Actually, I can't sense any powerful presences here, but if there weren't strong individuals protecting this place, it would have been destroyed long ago. At this moment, a man wearing a conical hat appears right in front of me. This puzzles me. Is this guy blind? Doesn't he know to watch where he's going? However, he seems to be looking for me specifically. Your blood is so thick. You must be from the outside world, right? I give a brief acknowledgement. What do you want? I'm busy right now and have no time for idle chat. The man laughs. In that case, let's make a deal. He pulls out a stack of bills. I'd like to purchase some information about the outside world from you. I have no objection. If it's something I know, I can tell you. Just as the man feels pleased, I make a request. Before that, I have a question for you. A monk addressing me so formally? You must be a fake. The man laughs heartily. I didn't expect you to see through me so quickly. This outfit is just my hobby. I point at his eyes. Is covering your eyes also your hobby? This makes the man look flustered. What a troublesome guy, he thinks. He pulls down the eye patch, revealing closed eyes. I recently developed an eye condition. My eyes can't open. His words can't fool me though. I can sense the terrifying light bursting from his eyes. This guy is definitely not as simple as he appears. He must have his reasons for hiding his power. It seems this shelter harbors a wolf in sheep's clothing. I don't dwell on it further and ask what information he wants. Now it's finally the man's turn to ask questions. The man has been in the city for a long time. He's eager to know what's happening outside. He's also noticed armed soldiers gathering at the city walls. Clearly they're entering combat readiness. He's certain ordinary civilians haven't noticed this. But he heard explosions from outside, which piqued his curiosity. He wants to know what's really happening out there. After hearing him out, I pause to think. This guy isn't as simple as I thought. Better hide my true nature for now. I laugh. Honestly, I don't really know what happened outside either. I just heard a huge explosion from the southwest. I was so scared I dropped my letters and had to use my shirt as a makeshift map. This surprises the man. I see, he says aloud, while thinking, you're hiding your power too. Still, he pays me for the information. Knowing the direction is enough. You've been a great help. He actually heads alone toward that vague direction. I wonder what he's planning. I don't know how many fighters like him are in this city, so I definitely can't cause too much commotion. It might hinder my search. Another thing worth noting, a suspicious person like me can move freely in this city. This proves there must be powerful individuals in charge here, though it's also possible we face a common enemy, so their guard against humans has loosened. Time quickly passes to evening. I enter a clothing store and buy some clothes. Using the money from that monk, I buy a trench coat. It looks pretty cool. Wearing it makes me feel like someone, I think his name was Cheng Xiaoyu, but the priority right now is to find my parents. Looking around, I realize this city is much larger than I imagined. It seems I'll have to use the most traditional method to find them. I hope everything goes smoothly, so I gently tap a woman's shoulder. Excuse me, have you seen this couple in the photo? But to my surprise, the woman looks shocked. She waves her hands frantically, saying she's never seen these people, then hurries away. This leaves me speechless. Her reaction was way too intense, as if I showed her a ghost. At this moment, a man approaches from behind, cursing loudly. His voice successfully catches my attention. To my surprise, he walks right up to me with an annoyed expression. Dude, hitting on women in the middle of the night? How pathetic. Hearing this, I instantly appear before him, glaring. You'd better watch your tone. When our eyes meet, sweat clearly drips down his face. You don't look like a local. Pointing at my photo, he says, what era is this? People still use photos to hit on others at night? How lame. I hold up the photo for him to see. Have you seen these two people? The man is speechless. Are you just approaching everyone you see? However, the man's voice stops abruptly, and his face shows terror. How do you have their photo? He looks up and asks, what's your relationship with these two people? This fills my heart with joy. I finally found a lead on my parents. I quickly tell him I'm their son. Spiky hair carefully compares my appearance with the child in the photo. You look completely different. This angers him. He rolls up his sleeves, ready to hit me. Are you messing with me? At this moment, a truck carrying monsters drives by. The truck driver panics and frantically hits the brakes, but I pay no attention to any of this. The next moment, the truck crashes heavily into me, but I don't move an inch. This completely stuns Spiky hair. Is he seeing a human or a ghost today? I dust off my shoulders. I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said. Could you repeat that? The man's arrogance vanishes instantly. He becomes a meek and obedient young man. He even pretends to know me. Oh, it's you. Long time no see. He points me toward a road. Just follow this road and you'll find your home. I even held you when you were little, remember? I ignore his words and walk in the direction he indicated. Thanks for this. Once I find my parents, I'll give you a reward. Spiky hair smiles and waves at me. No need to be so polite. I don't need a reward. But immediately after, he runs quickly in another direction. This seems like big trouble. I need to gather everyone. I feel somewhat puzzled. Even a small-time thug knows my home address. This is quite incredible. But thinking about it, it seems normal. Dad treats everyone he meets very well. It's probably because of this habit that everyone has such a deep impression of him. Mom is the same, treating neighbors very well. People as kind as them will only be taken advantage of in this world. My fists clench. My parents are good people, but I'm not. Now that I'm here, I can protect them. No one will ever bully them in my presence. After walking a bit longer, I stop at a corner. This should be the place Spiky Hair directed me to. But to my surprise, there's not a single passerby here, and there's a very long wall at the entrance. Do my parents really live inside here? That's quite luxurious. Just from this entrance, I can tell my parents are doing quite well in this city. They probably haven't suffered, so I eagerly knock on the door. Joy immediately appears on my face because I hear a familiar yet distant voice from inside. 500 years. It's been 500 years since I heard this voice. It's Dad's voice. He might be talking to Mom. Did your work end so early today? Dad opens the door to welcome Mom home, but instead sees me standing before him with white hair. When I see who it is, my expression also changes. Dad has changed more than I imagined. After opening the door, Dad shows a confused expression. Then his expression becomes furious. Who the hell are you? You're interfering with me welcoming my wife home. Dad stares at me for a long time but still doesn't recognize me. I can't blame him. My changes over 500 years are too drastic. Though I haven't aged compared to my former self, I'm a completely different person. Dad, it's me, Yukdu. Did you forget about me? Hearing this, Dad is instantly shocked. Do you think I'm stupid? My son doesn't have white hair. After that, Dad brings me to the hall. Once we sit down, neither of us says a word. At this moment, Mom walks in from outside carrying tea. After Mom sits down, Dad slowly speaks. I can hardly believe it. He looks completely different from our former son. So we should conduct some tests. I chuckle. What kind of test do you mean, Dad? Dad says I've changed too much, so we must exchange secrets between father and son to make him believe I'm really his son. At this moment, Dad also glances at the shadow unit on the ceiling. If I say anything suspicious, the shadow unit above will eliminate me. Little does he know, I see all of Dad's actions. He's still on guard against me. However, the tight security puts me at ease. Dad has been doing quite well these years. Next comes our unique father-son secrets. I really feel for Dad's subordinate, because he's about to hear things he shouldn't. So the first round begins. Every weekend, Dad goes to the home economics mutual aid group for cooking classes. Dad looks shocked. How does he know about this? The shadow unit leader is stunned. He never imagined the boss would attend cooking classes at the home economics mutual aid group. This is just the first secret I reveal about Dad. Next comes the bombshell. Dad sneaks off to ballet classes every week. The shadow unit leader lying on the ceiling wants to die. He truly doesn't know if he'll make it out alive today. He simply cannot imagine the boss attending ballet classes. Dad glares menacingly at the shadow unit on the ceiling, as if saying, if you dare imagine it, I'll kill you. Meeting Dad's gaze, the shadow unit leader feels as if a sword beam has locked onto his throat, sending chills down his spine. An awkward atmosphere fills the entire room. Dad still seems cautious. Even if you know these things, it doesn't prove you're my son. I laugh heartily at this. How about I tell you some things about our family? Dad's eyes show some surprise. If you know, then go ahead and tell me. Of course I know these things, but don't say I didn't warn you. Are you really comfortable letting others hear what I'm about to say? I clearly see sweat forming on Dad's face. He even stutters a bit. Just go ahead and say it. Then I turn and point at the two swords displayed there. Dad's Japanese sword is just a replica. Hearing the word replica, the shadow unit leader sweats profusely. A trace of panic flashes in Dad's eyes, but he still argues. Don't joke around. What evidence do you have that it's a replica? To find the evidence Dad mentioned, I stand and pick up one of the swords. This handle has my brother's tooth marks on it. The shadow unit leader's heart pounds. He knows he's definitely going to die here today because he's discovered the boss's big secret. He'd heard the boss tell the story before. This sword had tooth marks from when the boss fought with it in his mouth while his hands were bound, killing 38 people. With a swing, I draw the sword from my hand. At the same time, the shadow unit leader prepares to attack, sensing I might use this opportunity to strike at their boss. However, I press the blade against my palm. If I remember correctly, this sword is retractable, isn't it? See? I was right. At this moment, Dad suddenly curses at me from behind. You bastard! The next second, he throws himself into my arms and starts sobbing. We all thought you were dead. We searched for so many years and couldn't find you. At this moment, Dad is like a child, tears streaming down continuously. This is the expression of crying tears of joy. Our son has really come back. Ever since I disappeared, Mom and Dad never gave up searching for me. Dad searched every landmark for information about me and unknowingly became the boss. And now this boss is crying his heart out. How pitiful. Can you bring that person down from above? At this moment, the shadow unit leader is deeply shocked. This is the first time he's seen the boss like this. The boss who once lived through bloodshed and carnage killed countless people, he was like a war god. Past events keep flashing through the leader's mind. He suddenly realizes something. He's never seen the boss shed a single tear in all these years. Even if he tells this scene to others, probably no one would believe him. As he watches, something suddenly feels wrong in his mind, and sweat pours down his forehead like water. He feels this place is more dangerous than hell. He must leave quickly, only hoping we won't kill him to silence him. At this moment, a hand suddenly breaks through the ceiling and grabs his leg. I stare at the shadow unit leader with a smile. Don't be in such a hurry to leave. My dad wants to talk to you. Could you do us the honor of coming down? Then the four of us all sit at the table. Dad speaks to the shadow unit member. Among all my subordinates, you have the loosest lips. You know what to do, right? I pick up where Dad left off. If you leak this information, you'll bear the consequences. Dad and I say this at the same time. At this moment, the shadow unit leader is probably scared witless. I promise I won't say a word. Please spare me. Now even a blind person could see that these two are cut from the same cloth. If they're not father and son, what are they? Compared to the danger from Dad and me, Mom's voice descends upon his ears like an angel. You two, father and son, just have your fun. Stop threatening him. This makes the shadow unit leader show grateful eyes. It seems only the lady of the house is gentle. However, though Mom's expression is smiling, it's eerily sinister. You absolutely cannot say a word, or even I can't save your life. The shadow unit leader nods repeatedly, promising he won't remember this. I'll forget as soon as I leave, Dad says angrily to Mom. I'm so glad he didn't mention me farting or snoring in my sleep. Honey, why did you expose your own embarrassing secrets? Witnessing this warm scene, I can't help but smile. This is the life I longed for during 500 years in the abyss. It has finally arrived. Now I'm back, and my family is still alive. What I need to do next is protect them well. At this moment, I keenly sense movement outside the house. The next second, with a crash, my family's gate is pulled open by spiky hair. Behind him are several fierce-looking underlings. Boss, a white-haired kid is looking for you. He seems really powerful. He even wrecked a truck. But when he opens the door, he's dumbfounded. He never expected to find me sitting peacefully here with my parents. I glance slightly backward. Are you talking about me when you mention the white-haired kid? Hearing my words, he's shocked. Looking carefully, he realizes I'm exactly the white-haired kid from his memory. He turns pale with fear. Boss, I'm talking about him. This kid is incredible. When the truck hit him, it got wrecked. Then he says tremblingly, even if you're strong, we have numbers. You can't beat us all. Little does he know his legs are shaking as he speaks. In comparison, I'm much calmer, seemingly not taking him seriously at all. Spiky hair keeps shouting. What do you plan to do to our boss? Are you from Tiger Roar Guild? I grab his knees with both hands. Come on, stop your legs from shaking when you talk. When I stand up, my eyes burst with immensely powerful aura, making him shudder. I pat his shoulder lightly. He seems to be Dad's subordinate. Dad, why don't you introduce your men to me? Dad laughs heartily. Don't be so nervous. He's my son, Choi Yuk-do. He disappeared for 5 years and has finally returned. His current level is... Dad's words stop abruptly here. He remembers something. He knows nothing about my level. As a dad, he's really failed. He hasn't learned about his son's situation for so long. But now that his subordinates are here, he can't show this or it would be too embarrassing. At this moment, I pick up where Dad left off. What I say nearly scares everyone to death. I don't have what you call the system at all, so I don't even know what level I am. This shocks the underlings behind. You survived in the fallen zone for 5 years without the system? How did you even survive? Spiky hair from earlier is also stunned speechless. Without the system, no matter how you train, you can't break through level 10. I chuckle at Spiky hair. Although I don't know what abilities their system gives them, can a level 10 withstand a truck collision? That seems a bit unrealistic to me. Long hair behind Spiky hair says slowly, didn't you say he was strong? But how is he a rookie without the system? Spiky hair is speechless about this. Maybe he got it wrong himself. Though he says this, he knows in his heart, I'm definitely extraordinarily powerful. But he's also curious why I don't have the system. Having just returned to Earth from the abyss, I don't know what their system looks like either. So I ask Spiky hair to use the system to check my level. This completely freezes his expression. Then he explains to me, you might not know this yet. Since you don't have the system, you obviously don't know the basic information. If you had the system, you could see monsters' levels and related information, but you can't see other people's levels. Without the inspection skill, you can't see others' information. This inspection skill is particularly rare, but my dad happens to have it. I turn my gaze to Dad. In that case, I'll have to trouble you to check for me. I don't know if Dad's skill can see any information about the abyss. A moment later, everyone present watches Dad pointing and gesturing in the air. That's because they can't see other people's system interface. I ask Mom, aren't you going to check too? Mom shakes her head. Right now, I just want to stay by your side. I already know what I need to know anyway. As soon as Mom finishes speaking, Dad's exclamation rings out in the room. What on earth is going on? Dad's system panel shows only question marks. It can't retrieve any of my information at all. He looks very confused about this. No matter how many times he tries, the result is the same. Dad has 2 theories about this situation. The first theory is that I don't have the system. The second theory gives Dad quite a shock, that my level is far higher than his, so he can't view my information. At these words, all the underlings in the room freeze on the spot. The boss is already like a war god, and his son is even more powerful? This is too incredible. According to his dad, the system interface can't display my abilities and personal information, but it can show my name. This suggests the second theory is very likely true. More importantly, my son survived outside for 5 years. If he were a beginner, he'd be dead already and couldn't possibly be here. So your level must far exceed mine. Hearing Dad ask what I experienced in these 5 years, I can't help but recall some bad memories, and my face darkens. Mom speaks up to rescue me. Stop interrogating your son. He's safely returned now. Isn't that worth celebrating? In Mom's heart, she's always believed I'm a strong child who can overcome any difficulty. Mom also knows I must have endured many hardships to return. Seeing me safe and sound now is truly wonderful. Hearing Mom's words, my eyes moisten. I've missed her so much these 500 years. All my experiences in the abyss flash through my mind, but having gone through all that, this moment of reunion makes it worthwhile. My tears flow uncontrollably. I assure Mom that I'll never wander off again. I'll stay by their side and protect them. At this moment, Mom in my arms is sobbing uncontrollably, tears flowing like a waterfall. Seeing this touching scene, Dad also sheds tears. Then he drives all his subordinates out. You guys, don't interfere with a mother-son reunion. Get out now. He orders his subordinates not to disturb him for anything today. Tonight, he'll cook a feast to welcome his son home. After everyone leaves, only Mom and I remain in the room chatting. By the way, Mom, where's my brother? I haven't seen my brother since entering the house, which gives me a bad feeling. Mom tells me not to overthink. Your brother is alive and well. He doesn't come home much because he's serving in the military. Since you're back now, should I call him to come home for dinner? At this moment, I also see what my brother looks like on the phone. Mom tells me he's been fighting on the front lines, almost as if trying to avenge me. I haven't seen him in a long time. My brother always stood in front of me to protect me. Since childhood, no one ever bullied me in front of him. After chatting with Mom for a long time, I finally ask what's puzzling me. Mom, is your status here very high? Mom nods. My status here is quite high. I awakened the complete priest inheritance, so those people are willing to follow my orders. I'm also a healer with many healing abilities, able to provide powerful support. Most importantly, I have a prophecy ability. Hearing Mom's words, I look extremely surprised. Since you're a priest, can you see if there's anything wrong with me? But Mom says she can't see through me because she doesn't have that ability. Then how did you know I'd definitely return? You even left clothes and a letter in my room? Mom touches my face with her hand. You silly boy, didn't I just tell you I have prophecy ability? I saw a vision of your return in the future. Mom laughs. I told your dad before that you'd definitely return, but he didn't believe me. He went out early and came home late every day, constantly searching for you, and ended up becoming the boss of this place. Unfortunately, prophets cannot foresee their own fate, or they'll suffer backlash. The prophecy ability also has many restrictions. Certain conditions must be met before I can prophesy again. Meanwhile, a group of uninvited guests arrives outside my home. The leader has a scar on his face. Seeing them arrive, Dad goes forward with his underlings to greet them. Welcome back, my friend. This person is Hante-san, Vice President of the United Guild. Seeing his expression, Dad grows curious. Why do you look so troubled? Did something happen? Dad quietly approaches him and asks in a low voice, what happened? I secretly sent people to investigate some things. What did they find? Hante-san speaks in a low voice. Just as you suspected, Tiger Roar has connections with the military. Boss, should we take action? We turned in monster corpses to the military as usual, but that guy with the notebook started nitpicking during inspection. He said the monsters we hunted were too damaged for them to accept. They always have various excuses and reasons, only giving us a small portion of the points, then reporting the full amount to their boss. After investigation, all the injustice points to Tiger Roar. Hearing Hante-san explain, Dad shows a look of realization. I see. This matches my earlier suspicions. If Tiger Roar, which should be neutral, is pulling these tricks, things are tricky, but we can't just sit idly by and let ourselves be trampled. This will affect the town's future future, Dad doesn't seem too concerned about this. The worst outcome is just a fight. What's most important now is to get his friends something to eat first. The next moment, Dad spreads his hand wide, and a sword instantly appears in his palm. After we eat, I'll personally go to Tiger Roar and settle this matter completely. At this moment, Dad's eyes are filled with murderous intent. We must show them that the United Guild is not a pushover for anyone to squeeze. Hearing about Tiger Roar Guild, my eyes also show hostility. Thanks to that black shard, all my abilities have entered an overloaded state. Not only has my strength increased, but my senses have also become sharper. Now I can capture sounds from afar. It seems those bandits I encountered earlier are also connected to Tiger Roar. I turn my head toward Dad's direction. Now that Dad is going to negotiate with them, I'm a bit worried because I don't know Dad's strength. The next moment, I push open the door and stop Dad. You're going to eat, right? I'm hungry too. How about I join you for the meal, and after we eat, I'm going with Dad to Tiger Roar Guild. I want to see exactly who dares to bully us. However, Hantei-san standing beside him is full of confusion. This white-haired young man before him gives off an oppressive aura, yet he has never seen me in the city. Dad quickly steps forward to explain that this is his son who had been missing for 5 years, named Choi Yukdu. Unfortunately, my son has not awakened the system. This shocks Hantei-san immensely. How could someone survive outside for 5 years without the system? His astonished gaze meets mine for a moment. Without the system, that means he is just an ordinary person. Someone without the system would probably perish within 3 days outside. If one possesses elite attributes and top-tier survival skills, survival is not entirely impossible. But without combat skills, once this situation turns into a fight, he would become a burden. Hantei-san keeps his thoughts to himself and laughs heartily instead, saying this is truly good news, but since you just returned, you should not participate in this operation and should rest well. Dad agrees with Hantei-san, telling me to just stay home and keep Mom company. Mom chuckles and tells me to listen to Dad, saying she has not even given me a tour of our home yet. I cannot help thinking that they apparently consider me an ordinary person, though this is within expectations. To anyone with the system, I am merely an ordinary person. Thinking carefully, I have not fully grasped the complete picture of this shelter. If monsters like those I imagine truly exist, I must hide my real power to avoid dragging my parents into danger. So I nod in agreement. In that case, the uncles should accompany Dad together. However, the subordinate behind me shows a regretful expression. He feels frustrated inside, realizing he has missed a good opportunity to witness my abilities. It is all because of Hantei-san running his mouth. He has cursed him countless times in his heart. Thus, Dad and his group march toward Tiger Roar Guild in force, ready to demand justice. Watching their departing figures, I still feel somewhat worried because I just returned home and do not want Dad to be in danger. Mom tells me not to worry. Your father is very powerful, and not letting you go this time is for your own good. Just stay home obediently. Actually, my thoughts now align with Mom's. We have finally reunited after so much difficulty, and neither of us wants the other to face danger. Mom pats my head at this moment, telling me to trust her words. Your father is truly powerful, and she uses her prophecy ability every month to check on Dad's safety. Each time she can see Dad in the coming month, so I need not worry anymore. I stop Mom from continuing to pat my head. I am not a child anymore, and it feels quite embarrassing when you pat my head like this. Although Mom can indeed foresee danger, Tiger Roar has connections with the military. In the future, Dad will only have increasingly frequent conflicts with them. I turn to ask Mom a question about the current situation at the shelter and why Tiger Roar has a poor relationship with us. Mom explains that after Judgment Day, an awakened one established hunter guild that jointly managed the shelter with the military. Then your father founded United Guild and worked with the military at shelter number 6, hoping to find you. United Guild has grown so strong because everyone was moved by your father's vow to help find each other's families. United Guild maintains order, searches for supplies in the wilderness, and fights monsters, while the military handles hunting operations and tower raids. Your father is a kind person, which is precisely why he does not want his people to enter the rifts. This is how Mom and Dad maintained peace over the past 4 years, avoiding danger as much as possible while gradually growing their forces. However, a few months ago, Tiger Roar Guild from shelter number 4 came here to establish a branch. From that moment on, conflicts between Dad's side and theirs have been continuous, whether major or minor incidents. The conflicts never cease. This puzzles me. Since the shelter has connections with the military, why does the military not intervene to stop the conflicts between these two guilds? It turns out that because enemies keep growing stronger, the military is no longer capable of stopping them. However, Tiger Roar was established to conquer the towers, and their power is so overwhelming that the military has no choice but to rely on them. Information about tower raids is of tremendous value, so the military cannot ignore it. Moreover, Tiger Roar organization possesses an awakened one chosen by the tower god. This awakened one is named Eslar. He is the one chosen by the tower god and is Tiger Roar's true ace, with terrifyingly formidable power. Hearing Mom mention the tower god leaves me confused. This is the first time I have heard that gods actually exist. The so-called tower god is the tower lord. To us humans, their power is almost equivalent to that of deities. If one passes the tower god's trials, one can become an Eslar and receive god-given power. Outside the towers, they are called messengers of God, while inside the towers, they become guardians. Currently, Tiger Roar organization possesses many Eslars. Since each Eslar harbors absurd power, Tiger Roar instantly absorbed all neighboring guilds. Your father's guild is beloved by the locals, but they have never conquered a single tower. We are the only guild in the alliance struggling without an Eslar. This makes me feel the situation is quite dire. However, something feels off to me. If people deeply love United Guild, why do they behave like a criminal organization? Mom chuckles at this, saying that is just her personal quirk. This makes everything clear to me. Mom actually admires gangster culture quite a bit, and the guild she helped create even bears traces of that style. Mom tells me not to worry so much about it. What does it matter as long as everyone is happy? At this point, Mom gently pushes my back, urging me to go take a shower and rest well. We can continue talking about anything tomorrow. If you need someone to scrub your back, just call me. But how could I feel comfortable comfortable having someone scrub my back. After mom leaves, I stand alone in the room, but my mind cannot settle down. I activate my perception to check mom's location. A wave of abyssal power spreads out from within my body. In my perception, mom has truly left this place. Earlier, I agreed to rest at home because I never imagined the situation would be this serious. However, now I need to go to dad's side. Otherwise, I will never feel at ease. Then I pull open the window. If I go now, I should still be able to catch up with dad. With a whoosh, I leap up and instantly vanish from the spot. At precisely this moment, mom is still at home and catches sight of my figure. A complex expression appears on mom's face. They all told you to rest, but you just will not listen. It seems you are as troublesome as when you were little. On the other side, dad leads his people toward Tiger Roar Guild with murderous intent. Meanwhile, I follow from home. I reach higher ground wanting to observe dad's team. Since everywhere outside the central area is pitch black, I easily locate dad. However, at this moment, my vision becomes doubled and my head feels dizzy. This feels wrong to me. Ever since I was enhanced by the abyss fragment, I cannot even catch a cold. How could I possibly feel dizzy? However, at this moment, I hear a familiar voice. Seed of the abyss, you cannot escape. I immediately turn my head to search for traces of the cloaked man. However, this person is extremely cunning, completely concealing his presence. I cannot sense him at all. This fills my heart with immense anger. I never expected he would actually follow me to shelter number 6. Just as I am in this state of anger, I suddenly feel a wave of dizziness. Immediately after, I hear his voice again. I will not let you escape, Seed of the Abyss, because your soul has already been locked by me. Anything marked by me cannot hide from my sight. Soon I see his head right on my shoulder. The next second, I fiercely swing my fist and directly scatter the cloaked man's head. However, my fist cannot actually strike him, passing straight through his head. This is clearly not his real body. The cloaked man laughs heartily. Your soul has been marked by me. You absolutely cannot escape from my grasp. When I carefully sense his head, I realize this seems to be something like a string of code that only repeats these few phrases and that cursed expression. My shouting attracts the attention of people around me. What are you doing up there so late? Are you planning to jump? The powerful flashlights they hold make it difficult for me to keep my eyes open. The next second, I leap directly and vanish from the spot. During my airborne sprint, I notice that face from earlier has disappeared again, so I immediately stop, preparing to investigate further. If that person is nearby, he is definitely a dangerous presence. What I did not expect is that the instant I stop, I see the cloaked man again. He once more repeats what he said earlier. This makes me form a hypothesis. Could his earlier disappearance have been because of the powerful flashlight? Thinking this, I feel it necessary to conduct an experiment. So I move beneath a street lamp and position my arm toward the light. In my assessment, if I remain in darkness for 7 seconds, the soul mark will be activated. If I lose my composure, it might also activate the soul mark. This thing is quite annoying. Thinking this, I use my other hand to gently press against the soul mark, keeping it in darkness for 7 seconds. Just as I suspected, that cursed head appears again. However, this time I mirror his expression and even say the same words. Your soul has been marked by me. You cannot escape, Seed of the Abyss. After a passerby witnesses this, he curses me as a delusional teen. It appears only I can see this face. When I walk under light, harsh noise begins ringing in my mind. However, after a while, the mark disappears, and I can no longer see that cursed head. He must have planted the soul mark on me long ago. When I was at home, was it because of the sunlight and indoor lighting that I did not experience these things earlier? My speculation should not be wrong. It must be this way. This makes me feel somewhat troubled. How should I deal with this head? The reason the cloaked man planted this soul mark on me is probably to easily locate my position. It appears he could launch an assault at any moment, so I absolutely cannot lower my guard. This person is an extremely dangerous existence. First, I must find Dad. As for this infuriating face, I will ignore it if I can. When light shines on me, that face disappears. It seems my hypothesis is correct. He does not appear when there is light. If it is truly as Mom said, and United Guild has become useless to the military, then Dad may very likely be in mortal danger. At this moment, I think of the monk I encountered during the day. I do not know how many powerful individuals are in the shelter, but the military alliance with Tiger Roar Guild absolutely cannot just sit quietly. They may very well be attempting to destroy United Guild. If this is the case, even if I must kill everyone, I will protect Dad and Mom. Everyone who threatens our lives must die. At this moment, my expression becomes somewhat desolate. I truly wish to return to the peaceful society of the past, where our whole family could live safely every day. Soon I arrive at Dad's location. They stand before the Tiger Roar Guild building. However, I do not follow them up, but hide behind a pillar, observing the situation ahead. I really want to know how Dad will negotiate with Tiger Roar Guild. When conflict arises with others, violence is actually the last resort. This is the truth Dad once taught me. However, at that time, I only half understood because I was still young and did not know how to fight at all. I do not know whether Dad will actually fight with Tiger Roar Guild members. If he does, I will have to step in. Just then, I hear what seems like commotion in the crowd. Could negotiations be starting? Turning to look, I notice 2 guild members ahead seem extremely excited, unable to suppress their smiles. Then I see Dad ahead making a sword-drawing motion. Dad's aura at this moment is incredibly intimidating. His guild members mentioned that last time, Dad left a nearly 20-meter scar on an opponent. At this point, Dad speaks, his eyes filled with murderous intent. Park Tae-jun, I have already arrived at your guild's doorstep. Will you still not come out to greet me? The next moment, the blade in Dad's hand is instantly unsheathed. At the instant of drawing, I sense a terrifying power radiating from the sword. With a sharp ring, a resounding sword cry swiftly rushes toward the building ahead. Beyond this, I also see a blade aura. The next second, rubble flies everywhere. The entire building is sliced into 2 halves. At this moment, Dad's expression has completely lost the warmth he showed at home. All that remains is endless murderous intent and domineering presence. Hante-san beside him watches all this expressionlessly, while his subordinates behind him are extremely excited. This scene completely shocks me on the spot. Everything Mom said was true. Dad is truly powerful. It seems my worry was somewhat unnecessary. Afterward, Dad slowly sheathes his sword. That building has been diagonally split in half by him. At this point, Dad speaks slowly. It has been a while since I last took action. Do they truly think we are dead? How dare they so brazenly bully our people? At this moment, I gently tap one of Dad's subordinates. I want to ask him a question. Has the boss always been like this? He is incredibly fierce. Hearing this, that subordinate shows an extremely admiring expression. Do you not know? The boss is famous for being the first to charge into a fight. Hearing this, I am extremely surprised and casually remark that he always likes to save violence as a last resort, does he not? From this subordinate's tone, it seems Dad has said this to them too, but that was his old philosophy. Back then, he still believed the military could solve problems, but now things are different. What happened later was quite interesting. Whenever our people went to the military-controlled area, small conflicts would always break out. The continuous conflicts led to a change in the boss's philosophy. Solving problems with fists is the fastest way. If you cannot win the fight, talking is useless. Basically, beat them first, then reason with them. This is the boss's new philosophy, and also the philosophy we pursue. After listening to the subordinate's account, I feel Dad's behavior is still somewhat reckless. From my observation of that monk, do not the strong usually avoid trouble? How is it that Dad rushes toward difficulties instead? Looking at Dad's figure ahead, could I have misunderstood him earlier, or does possessing power like Dad's allow one to act domineeringly as one pleases? Perhaps I was simply deceived by that monk earlier. He may also possess terrifying power and acts domineeringly everywhere. It seems I still do not understand this world well enough. Meanwhile, inside a building, a figure emerges on the rooftop. He watches the scene ahead, where several helicopters are handling a monster corpse. At this moment, the monk has removed his blindfold. A green gleam flashes across his eyes. This is his skill. The auspicious eye has been activated. He sees what appears to be a torn-apart level 90 boss without burn marks from heavy weapons or other scars. This scene is the monster I killed during the day. The monk once again covers his eyes with cloth, sighing that this world actually has so many powerful individuals. This is truly frightening. It seems we must be cautious, even more cautious. On the other side, inside the building Dad sliced through, wisps of white smoke still rise. Dad and his group are all here, waiting for Tiger Roar Guild's leader to come out and negotiate. Before long, a group walks out from inside. The person leading them curses angrily, calling Dad a bastard. That person says angrily that you think the current situation is the same as when the shelter was first built. Hearing this, Dad seems to recall unpleasant memories and retorts angrily. Of course the situation has changed, especially since annoying people like you appeared. As soon as he finishes speaking, Dad lifts a blade in his hand slightly. I should have killed you directly back then to eliminate future troubles. That person seems unconcerned by Dad's provocation. Then why do you not do it now? Are you afraid? After being provoked by him, veins bulge on Dad's face. Do you think I cannot kill you now? The next second, the blade in Dad's hand immediately unsheathes. Bolts of lightning dance all around the sword. This scene makes Park Tae-jun tremble in fear, terrified that Dad will strike him down with one blow. Park Tae-jun's heart becomes extremely anxious. I have completely enraged him. You people should come out quickly. Is his anger still not enough yet? Thinking this, Park Tae-jun insults Dad again. You cannot even draw your sword properly, you coward. If you have the guts, come strike me. I want to see if you truly have the courage. Park Tae-jun becomes increasingly agitated. Someone as weak as you is not even worthy of carrying Tiger Roar Guild's shoes. The next moment, Dad becomes completely enraged. Gripping his sword, he charges straight at Park Tae-jun. However, at this moment, Park Tae-jun instantly releases his shield and summons God-given power, blocking Dad's strike. At this instant, a shadowy man and Park Tae-jun simultaneously share a thought. You have finally taken the bait. The next moment, a man walks out from behind. All of you do not move. This man is a level 63 assassin. He says angrily that you have quite some nerve, daring to incite conflict within the shelter. His appearance greatly shocks the guild members. This is someone from the military. How could they appear here? Do they intend to join forces with Tiger Roar Guild? I glance at that level 63 assassin. He must be the soldier supporting Tiger Roar Guild, but this is absolutely not a coincidence. I fix my gaze on the building above. I can sense many people lying in ambush inside this building. It feels like Dad is definitely going to suffer this time. This person's appearance is absolutely not accidental but inevitable. He must have set a trap long ago, waiting for Dad to fall into it. This person's appearance brings the fight to a halt. However, the situation remains a stalemate. Dad knows in his heart that he has definitely fallen into a trap today. However, he never expected the military to directly abandon United Guild and turn to cooperate with Tiger Roar Guild. The smile on that assassin's face never ceases. According to Article 15 of the Temporary Shelter Safety Law, dueling within the shelter is prohibited. Violators will face imprisonment of 15 days or more based on the severity. If severe, one may even face the death penalty. Will you comply with our instructions? Now Dad completely understands. So this is their plan. First provoke him, then when he retaliates, use the law to arrest him. This is simply a top-tier conspiracy executed in plain sight. When Dad sees the assassin's composed expression, he cannot help but feel puzzled. Does he not worry about his corrupt behavior being exposed? This is unbelievable. He is so brazenly attempting to frame him. Dad also knows that once imprisoned, they can indefinitely extend his sentence, or make him disappear in an unfortunate accident. So he absolutely cannot be caught by them. Otherwise, Tiger Roar Guild will seize his territory and assets while he is imprisoned, and even his wife and child will face this calamity. However, why would the military go to such great lengths to disrupt the balance? Could there also be power struggles within the military? If so, that would be truly terrifying. Although Dad is unclear about what these people are plotting, he knows one thing. He absolutely cannot admit to any wrongdoing. After thinking this through, Dad laughs heartily at the assassin. I believe you are surely mistaken. There is no conflict between him and me at all. As a supporter of United Guild, I cannot admit to crimes without evidence. Officer, do you not think I am right? The officer laughs heartily. You are talking to me about evidence, right? Then let me show you. Do you see the sword mark on my wall up there? You personally made that just now. Does this not count as evidence? Dad begins playing dumb. You must be joking, officer. How can this possibly count as evidence? Dad argues frantically with them. This sword mark was made while I was testing the structural integrity of the building. If it is a dangerous building, building. I must notify my good friend to repair it promptly. At this moment, the officer steps forward, coming before Dad, and says in a cold tone that you still do not quite understand. This place is not decided by you now, but by me. If I say this is evidence, then it is evidence. Today you engaged in conflict with another guild within the shelter. If you are dissatisfied, you can report me. Simultaneously, over 100 hunters suddenly appear inside this building, aiming guns at us. This assassin reveals a triumphant smile. From the moment you step foot here, you already lost. You had better surrender obediently, or I will order my subordinates to open fire. This makes Dad instantly sense the crisis. He will not die in this gunfire, but his subordinates may not be able to withstand such fierce firepower. The group of subordinates behind Dad are also greatly alarmed. You despicable scoundrels dare to design a trap to harm us. Everyone urges Dad not to surrender. At worst, it is death. We must fight them to the end. At this moment, Dad's expression is extremely serious. He knows he faces a difficult dilemma today. All of this has resulted from military intervention. The guild members behind him are already prepared with resolve to fight to the death, but Dad tells them to remain calm. Because they are also within range now, they will not open fire. The level 63 assassin chuckles. Do you want to gamble with your brother's lives against me? I do not mind a high-stakes gamble with you, but can you afford the price of the wager? With a sharp sound, Dad's blade instantly unsheathes. Dad can no longer contain his inner fury. However, facing the level 63 assassin, even Dad feels the pressure. Thus, Dad locks his target on Park Tae-jun. If I take him hostage, we can get through this crisis. Thinking this, Dad swiftly draws his blade. The assassin and Park Tae-jun instantly become alert. Is he finally making his move? Park Tae-jun immediately activates his sword shield. He cannot become the weakest link. An agent's defensive skills differ from other classes, allowing analysis of more information about incoming attacks. Therefore, Park Tae-jun believes that at this distance, he should be able to block Dad's attack. What Park Tae-jun deploys is sword shield defense, which can only block sword-type attacks. However, precisely because of this, when facing swords, he can perform beyond his level. Park Tae-jun previously tested his sword shield and confirmed it can block a full-force strike from a level 69 warrior. Therefore, he believes Dad, a level 65 warrior, poses no real threat. At this moment, he is already imagining in his mind the sight of Dad's sword breaking after striking his shield. Park Tae-jun shouts loudly, "If you have the ability, shatter this shield of mine." On the other side, the military personnel continue pressing. Choi Jin-han, will you comply obediently now, or do you want to be locked up together with all your companions? Choi Jin-han's expression is extremely grim. Now is the time for him to make a decision. Han Tae-san behind him urges Dad never to surrender. Even if it means death in battle, he must absolutely not surrender. Choi Jin-han's heart is conflicted. He does not want to drag his brothers down. Choi Jin-han's hand pauses on the blade handle for a moment. He makes a decision in his heart. He directly hands the blade to the other party. This action represents his abandonment of the fight. Han Tae-san is immensely shocked. He never expected the boss to make such a decision. On the contrary, the military personnel reveal a triumphant smile. It seems you have made a wise choice after all. All the guild members show angry expressions. Watching the military personnel so brazenly mock them, how can they not feel furious? Little do they know that Han Tae-san has already prepared for battle in his heart, because he and Choi Jin-han share a signal. When he raises the sword, it means ready. If he releases it, that represents imminent combat. The next second, Han Tae-san erupts with a terrifying aura. Magical power circulates wildly within his body. Others do not know he and Choi Jin-han have this tactic, so they will certainly be careless for a moment. With a surprise attack, they might successfully eliminate the strong opponent. At this moment, Dad throws the blade directly onto the ground. This signals the battle begins. Park Tae-jun is somewhat surprised. He does not understand why Choi Jin-han's blade disappeared. However, there is no time for him to think further, because Choi Jin-han's body swiftly charges toward him. This frightens him into directly maximizing his shield's energy. With this shield present, Park Tae-jun's heart gains reassurance. This shield bears magic to block sword strikes. No one can break through it. The next moment, Choi Jin-han waves his hand again. The sword's phantom suddenly appears in his grasp. Since you are so confident your shield can block my attack, let me test it. Park Tae-jun remains completely unfazed by this. This shield cannot even be broken by level 69. What makes you think you can succeed? However, at this moment, Han Tae-san behind them instantly releases the magical power he has been accumulating. He controls the rubble on the ground, causing it to slowly float upward. The purpose of doing this is to have the rubble cover the sword tip. They also understand Park Tae-jun's defensive method. What he deploys is a sword shield, which can only block sword strikes. Immediately after, Choi Jin-han swiftly swings his sword and directly shatters Park Tae-jun's shield. The power of this strike feels as if a hammer smashed his shield, causing his internal organs to churn continuously. What a miscalculation. It was not a sword strike but a hammer strike. In this case, even the hardest sword shield cannot withstand his attack. At this moment, Dad's attack does not stop but intends to deliver consecutive fatal blows. The soldier beside him laughs heartily. I know what your target is. Having said this, he swiftly turns and swings a dagger toward Dad. Now I can touch you, but you cannot touch me. If you dare lay a finger on me, you are finished. However, how could Han Tae-san behind them allow this to succeed? With a squeeze of his large hand, he directly assists Dad's defense remotely. A stone net rapidly bursts from the ground at this instant, preventing the assassin's arm from penetrating. The assassin feels somewhat challenged. These floating stones restrict his movements. On the other side, Park Tae-jun completely panics. He feels Choi Jin-han has completely lost his reason. He orders his subordinates to immediately open fire on him without mercy. The soldiers receiving the order continuously pull their triggers. Countless bullets emerge from the gun barrels. However, at the same time, Han Tae-san acts again. He brings his two fingers together and points upward. You presume to harm my boss in my presence? The next second, a stone wall blocks Park Tae-jun's escape route and also blocks the soldiers' gunfire. It can be said that Han Tae-san uses the stone wall to create an opportunity for Choi Jin-han to secure a solo kill. Choi Jin-han's heart is thrilled at this moment. As long as he can capture Park Tae-jun and use his life as a threat to allow the brothers to retreat, they can leave safely. Just as Choi Jin-han's palm is about to reach Park Tae-jun, Park Tae-jun's body suddenly vanishes like a shadow, causing Dad to grasp nothing but air. Choi Jin-han feels utterly shocked. This is the first time he has witnessed such an uncanny skill. The officer lets out a sinister cackle. Your ally's stone cage trapped me in the shadows, and when Park Tae-jun's shield shattered, I marked him with residual magic. He has now met the conditions to unlock the assassin skill called Shadow Trace. For those who don't understand, think of it like the Yellow Flash's Flying Thunder God technique. Now that you've lost your hostage, won't you surrender? The officer displays an arrogant grin and waves his hand broadly, ordering all his subordinates to move in together and capture Choi Jin-han. This turn of events catches Choi Jin-han completely off guard, and this defeat might spell his utter ruin. However, Han Tae-san beside him wears an expression of sheer terror, completely unable to comprehend why that person would appear here, his eyes filled with disbelief and confusion. Besides Han Tae-san, even the soldiers present are visibly shaken. The assassin doesn't understand the meaning behind their expressions. What's so surprising about this? Why aren't you moving yet? As his words fall, I slowly speak up. You just said to make a move. Against whom exactly? Against my father? My voice carries overwhelming killing intent, causing the assassin's expression to freeze. He feels utterly shocked inside. Someone has actually managed to circle behind him and approach silently. Could this be another assassin like himself? The assassin glances at me inadvertently. Although he doesn't know who I am, he knows one thing for certain. I am his enemy. He decides to strike first. I have no choice but to use that technique. With that, he slowly reaches his hand toward the potion at his waist. Park Tae-jun notices his movement as well. This appears to be the lethal poison prepared for defeating level 90 bosses, but this belongs to them. Who knows when this officer stole it? After preparing everything, the assassin instantly unleashes all his strength at this moment and breaks free from my restraint. At this moment, my overwhelming killing intent permeates my entire body, and I summon the power of the abyss to envelop myself. The assassin moves incredibly fast. The instant he turns around, he swings 3 daggers at me, aiming for my vital points. Dad sees this scene and panics completely. Yukdu, get out of here now! Park Tae-jun has already cursed that officer countless times in his mind. This action might drag everyone down with him, because no one present can withstand this poison's corrosion, himself included. Soon, the poison begins spreading through the air in all directions. In merely the blink of an eye, 4 or 5 soldiers are poisoned to death. Although Park Tae-jun doesn't want things to unfold this way, at least this poison can eliminate Shelter Number 6's allies. He needs to escape this toxic zone immediately. However, just as this thought crosses his mind, a massive palm reaches toward them. I swiftly grab both their fleeing bodies back. Like lifting chicks, I render them unable to move. Park Tae-jun feels utterly stunned. Why can he still move? This is lethal poison capable of killing a level 90 boss. Even the assassin officer displays a terrified expression. If someone can still move their body within this lethal poison, there's only one possibility. They are a monster so powerful that even level 90 poison cannot kill them. At this moment, both individuals trapped in my grasp share the same thought. Today they have provoked someone they should never have crossed. The assassin's earlier attack against me has been completely caught in my mouth. I spit lightly, ejecting the dagger handles from my mouth onto the ground. The thought alone seems ridiculous. That assassin actually believed such a simple attack could kill me. How absurd. I tell them both not to move. If either dares to move again, I'll send them to meet the king of hell. Today's matter must reach a conclusion. Park Tae-jun feels immensely shocked inside. Regardless of your class, every player has 5 attributes: intelligence, perception, strength, agility, and constitution. If he can withstand that toxin, his constitution equals that of a level 100 player. I speak to them furiously. Order your men to drop their weapons. However, this officer refuses to listen to me at all. He reaches back and grabs my leg. Then his body leaps into the air. Soon he locks my right arm and tells Park Tae-jun to attack me quickly. A smile curves at the corner of Park Tae-jun's mouth. This is an absolutely golden opportunity. Park Tae-jun prepares to launch a sneak attack while I'm busy breaking free from that joint lock. However, in my view, his attack moves slower than a turtle. The next second, I become thoroughly enraged and directly hurl both their bodies flying. 2 figures flash past Dad in an instant. With a thunderous crash, both their bodies slam heavily into the wall behind Dad. After receiving the heavy impact, clouds of dust rise from the ground. This attack leaves both of them nearly unconscious. Dad displays an utterly shocked expression. My son has actually managed to instantly defeat 2 experts. However, at this moment, the assassin's body slowly disappears. I snort coldly to myself. Petty tricks? Yet you dare show off before an expert. The assassin uses Shadow Shield and instantly appears behind me. He believes I absolutely cannot dodge this move. With a thrusting sound, he stabs the blade in his hand directly into my body. However, what he never expects is that the blade stops abruptly, completely unable to penetrate my skin. This leaves the assassin in disbelief. How is this possible? What shocks him even more comes next. His blade is stuck, and no matter how hard he tries, he cannot pull it out. I quickly turn around and swing a fist toward him. As he retreats, I catch his dagger with my hand. With a sound, his nose suddenly bleeds. My previous punch merely created a gust of wind that grazed his face, yet it injured him. He has only one thought now: escape. However, I will not let him have his way. The instant he wants to flee, I appear before him, my gaze locked firmly on him. I have no interest in wasting words with him. I directly press one hand on his head and push down firmly. The assassin has only one thought in his mind. The speed of this person before him is unimaginably fast. Having dealt with the assassin, I slowly stand up. Since the crisis has been resolved, it's time to return. At this moment, Han Tae-san and his subordinates are so shocked they don't know what to say. With each step I take forward, the soldiers beside me step back. Their commanding officer is in my hands, yet they dare not come forward to demand his release. One soldier wants to stop me, but the soldiers behind him shake their heads frantically, signaling that he absolutely cannot do so, or everyone will die without knowing how. I speak with my back to Dad. I'll leave the other person to you. Once we're done, let's head home quickly. Dad's mouth twitches. Fortunately, his son came today. Otherwise, these people would have been in grave danger. The next day, we return home. Dad pushes the door open and enters. It seems the interrogation has ended. Unfortunately, Dad hasn't extracted any information from them. However, this doesn't matter. At least we now know Tiger Roar Guild's position. We must remain vigilant these next few days. Besides this, another matter weighs heavily on Dad's mind. Setting aside Tiger Roar's plans, son, tell us about your situation. The three people present want very much to know what I have experienced these past 5 years. In merely 5 years, I have grown to this extent, which leaves them utterly astonished. After witnessing the conflict between Dad and them, I realize the implications of my actions. I feel it's time to explain everything to Dad. I then recount my experiences from these 5 years. 5 years ago, I fell into a place called the Abyss. During that time, I continuously hunted monsters. One of the towers must have trapped me inside. I tell them everything about my time in the Abyss, including how I spent 500 years inside, until finally a summoner teleported me back to Earth. This makes Dad stroke his chin thoughtfully. This incredible experience is truly hard to believe. There are 16 towers in total, but none match your description. If this is the case, it appears that tower is one not recorded in the files, and I was extremely unlucky to be teleported inside. Hante-san speaks up at this moment. If that tower is near shelter number 6, we can prioritize clearing it. Dad sighs with emotion at this moment. Son, I'm already deeply relieved that you've returned alive. Leave the rest to me. Dad's words make Hante-san beside him burst into laughter. After your son returned, he's a million times stronger than everyone else. It's not just relief, is it? If it were me, I'd probably wake up laughing in my dreams. Mom also touches my hand with a pained expression. Whatever happened to you doesn't matter. What matters is that you've returned safely now. After my return, Dad holds one conviction in his heart. He absolutely cannot let this family fall apart again. He will do everything in his power to protect this home. Just moments ago, I noticed Mom's hands covered in scars, and Dad's are the same. It appears both of them, like me, bear hands full of battle marks. I vow silently in my heart that I will never leave them again. I will use all my strength to restore our family to how it once was. At this moment, the light above our heads suddenly goes out. As the light goes out, my mind seems to waver for a moment. I know that person is about to appear again. Dad and Hante-san look puzzled. What's happening? Is there a power outage? The next second, just as I suspected, the cloaked man's face materializes beside me. This makes me feel this person is truly too annoying. The cloaked man repeats the words he spoke before. I will not let you escape, seed of the abyss. However, I quickly notice this time differs from before. He actually speaks words beyond his usual script. I finally found you. At this moment, Mom cannot see this cursed person at all and simply stares at the extinguished light bulb, and she is puzzled. The next moment, the cloaked man's eyes widen sharply. Then he vanishes from my shoulder. Although it appears like dispersion, I sense he has merely left my body. The instant the head disappears, the cloaked man's figure appears behind me. Long time no see, seed of the abyss. This makes things become interesting. He has actually regained self-awareness. I wonder whether his current form is illusory or physical. I carefully sense the cloaked man's presence. Although I feel nothing, I believe he hasn't materialized. This must still be an illusion. I plan to deal with it after I finish my current matters. Unexpectedly, the cloaked man slowly extends his hand. Are you trying to pretend you can't hear me? You think this is an illusion? Ordinary people truly love deceiving themselves. Immediately, the cloaked man covers my eyes with both hands. Today you'll taste the price of arrogance. When he removes his hands, my eyes transform into a mass of black mist, and I can see nothing. At this moment, the black mist continuously emanates from my eyes, spreading across my entire body. I cannot see now, which proves he is not an illusion. What I don't know is that this scene leaves all three people present completely stunned. Mom hastily asks me what's wrong, why so much black mist is appearing around my body. Dad quickly notices something wrong. Your eyes have turned into a mass of black mist. I can't see your whites or pupils at all. What on earth has happened? Mom immediately uses her purification ability, attempting to remove the abnormality from my body. However, she quickly realizes something is wrong. Her system displays a message. Your target is not affected by any curse, therefore this skill is ineffective. However, the situation before her eyes is clearly abnormal. I curse myself for being a complete fool. I was truly careless just now, resulting in my current blindness. Fortunately, my perception hasn't disappeared. The next moment, I subtly brace my stance. I absolutely cannot let my parents be placed in danger. My figure instantly rushes from my position and seizes the cloaked man's throat. The others are startled by my action. They can only see me swinging my fists in the air and nothing else. The cloaked man laughs loudly. Are you afraid? If you have the ability, strangle me then. Dad's expression at this moment is extremely anxious, his mind filled with confusion. Son, is there an enemy nearby? Why haven't I seen anything? Mom hasn't seen anything either. I don't answer my parents' questions, but instead glare at the cloaked man with killing intent. Why do you keep pestering me, coward? Hearing the word coward, the cloaked man nearly laughs aloud. Don't misunderstand. I am no coward. Come to think of it, I haven't introduced myself yet. I am from the noble Azer clan. I am Fordel, god of darkness. The reason he keeps pestering me is because I absorbed the black crystal in the abyss. That is the divine power the Acer left in the abyss. Strictly speaking, that is his domain of darkness. When I was in the abyss, the messengers of God were monitoring me. Because I left the abyss without authorization, those messengers have begun gathering. He tells me to return to the abyss with him immediately. After hearing his account, those so-called messengers of God are likely the Eslar that Mom mentioned. At this moment, Dad is already prepared to draw his blade. Although he doesn't know what's happening, he can sense the cloaked man is a dangerous figure. We must kill him. However, Mom stops him. Let's observe first. A cold laugh escapes my mouth. Even a god like you was defeated by me. What qualifications do you have to make me return? Don't think a mere few Eslar can do anything to me. If you push me too far, whether messengers of God or gods themselves, I'll kill them all. My words truly anger the cloaked man. Don't get carried away just because you won against me once by luck. The other Eslar far surpass my current strength. You underestimate them far too much. I could even take your power without the slightest effort. His words surprised me somewhat. I didn't expect such an arrogant person to actually admit he's inferior to the Eslar. But why should I believe his words? The cloaked man laughs loudly. Don't blame me for not warning you. Everything I'm doing now can be said to be for your benefit. You foolish commoner, you don't believe me, do you? When the blood rain begins to fall upon this land, you will regret everything you've done. His words make me hesitate. I have no reason to believe him, but believing him might be the only thing I can do. I don't know what to do now. Even now I remain uncertain about my own strength and whether I can defeat the Eslar. At this moment, we both hear movement outside the door. Someone appears to be entering. Before seeing the person, we hear their voice. A deep incantation accompanied by golden light resonates within the room. The next moment, a terrifying power seems to erupt from outside the door, shining upon the cloaked man's figure, causing him to cry out in pain. Simultaneously, the mist over my eyes slowly begins to dissipate. The cloaked man's figure seems pinned in place by a binding force. No matter what techniques he uses, he cannot escape this constraint. The newcomer speaks slowly. What he said just now is true. I believe him. Upon seeing the arrival, Father displays a delighted expression. Xu how did you come here? Meanwhile, when that radiance covers my eyes, my sight has already been restored. Looking up, the person before me turns out to be the monk from the shelter entrance. Just as I suspected, he is indeed a hidden expert. I look toward Father behind me. Do you know him? Father nods. I not only know him, but we're quite familiar. It was he and I who founded the United Guild together. However, he now has a matter he needs to discuss with us, and it's extremely urgent. Dad steps forward to inquire. What exactly has happened? I'll tell you later. Let me finish discussing matters with your son first, then I'll explain to you. 2.5 hours pass this way. After everyone leaves, I ask Xu to explain what this urgent situation he mentioned actually is. Xu points to his own eyes. Although I am not Eslar, my eyes can see divine power. Because of this, I was able to use forbidden arts to seal that god. That god refers to the cloaked man. Moreover, although my divine power shares the same nature as the cloaked man's, its strength far surpasses any deity. Regardless of how I obtained it, we no longer have time to investigate. Several massive divine powers are converging here, so we must quickly discuss countermeasures. The reason they're coming here is most likely because they covet my power, although I don't know what transpired between you and that deity. His words are true. However, you cannot return to the abyss, because what lurks within the tower poses a far more troublesome threat than the Eslar. He attempts to deceive you and drag you back to the abyss solely to reclaim your divine power. What you must do at this moment is leave here and join the military. Xu Hanxi's words provoke my aversion. You want me to join the military? You mean those people who once tried to bomb me to death? Hearing this, Xu Hanxi laughs heartily. The current military may indeed be so, but there is one person among them worthy of your trust. As long as you officially join the military, the Eslar won't dare move against you easily. Let's not discuss joining the military first. If I leave here, how can I ensure my parents' safety? He reassures me. The Eslar follow an unwritten rule. They won't easily involve ordinary civilians. It is precisely due to this convention that the alliance continues to exist. The next moment, Xu instantly releases his aura, countless points of light emanating from his body. Most importantly, with me present, they won't act rashly. After all, the Latan people's power equals that of the Eslar. As long as they're not foolish, they won't dare touch your parents or anyone else here. Meanwhile, in another location, within Tiger Roar Guild's conference room, several people stand gathered here with displeasure. What a meaningless mission. To think they've assembled the four of us for someone who doesn't even have the system, according to intelligence. That white-haired youth is Choi Jinhan's son who disappeared years ago. He probably succeeded in entering a tower by luck. For trash like this, leaving it to Fai Long alone would suffice. There's no need to assemble all four of us. Bai Yi's words greatly displease Fai Long. Why should this trash be assigned to me? Why don't you handle it yourself? Just as the two are about to erupt into conflict, a hand rests on Fai Long's shoulder. The blue-haired woman shakes her head, signaling him to stop arguing and follow the boss's arrangements. This woman is Athena, also an Eslar member. The man seated at the front speaks slowly. I will also participate in this operation. This causes them to display shocked expressions. Even the boss is making a move. This is a direct order from Zeus. We must eliminate the child named Yukdu. Additionally, Tower 16 near Shelter 6 is about to activate. This is the benefit of clearly controlling a tower. The stubborn alliance refused Tiger Roar's proposal and plans to proceed with their own plan. Therefore, this time we must eliminate not only Yukdu, but also his parents who formed the alliance. Infinite killing intent erupts from the boss's eyes. No one can refuse Zeus's command, and we must resolve this matter perfectly. Do you hear me? This is the boss of Tiger Roar Guild, named Licht, level 118, who has inherited the divine power of Zeus. On the other side, we have also made thorough preparations and arrangements. Xu Shenxi tells me to go to command and find Park Soo-jin. He indicates that Park Soo-jin is an old acquaintance of his and will certainly take good care of me, so I can go find her with confidence. Additionally, if battle breaks out, please be sure to watch for that curse master. Once the curse formation activates, even Tiger Roar cannot interfere. Mom smiles at me. The alliance stands guard here. You can go with peace of mind. Your father and I are also very strong. Nothing will happen. I nod, indicating I understand. However, I always feel a sense of unease in my heart. Is it because I've just reunited with my parents and don't want to leave? 15 minutes later, Xu Shenxi sits quietly at the main gate, waiting for those who should come. The next second, the leaves in the courtyard move without wind, sounding particularly eerie. This signifies the calm before the storm is about to break. At the same time, Xu Shenxi immediately senses something wrong. Extremely powerful divine power and killing intent spread from within this courtyard. It appears they've arrived. Immediately after, pitch black divine power bursts in from outside the gate. Looking carefully, 4 figures stand at this entrance. Each person's aura is immensely powerful. It appears they are all Eslar. Such a fierce attack rushes in from outside, but Xu Kanxi remains completely calm. Supporting himself with one hand on the ground, he instantly releases the golden bell barrier. The instant this black mist contacts the barrier, it all rebounds, completely unable to penetrate this shield. Behind Xu Chanxi stand my parents and Han Tae-san. All of them are shocked by this aura. After a brief greeting, all 4 Eslar enter, their eyes filled with killing intent. This scene truly terrifies Xu Chanxi. He never expected expected Tiger Roar Guild would actually deploy all 4 SLR. However, this is not all. Behind them, another figure appears. Upon seeing this figure's appearance, they all bow respectfully. One can clearly see how high this person's status is in their hearts. This person who appears is none other than Licht, the boss of Tiger Roar and the world's strongest hunter. This makes Xiuquan sense grave danger. Even Licht has come. This matter likely bodes extremely ill. Licht orders Bai Yi to begin. The next second, Bai Yi waves his hand broadly, and black energy emanating from his hand rushes forward. Everyone present is stunned by this momentum. This black mist transforms into demon-like faces and reaches toward Father. Dad senses trouble. All Alliance members' positions have been detected by that specter. Even stealth units have been discovered by them. Such perfect detection leaves nowhere to escape. Then Dad activates Eye of Detection. This detection leaves him utterly shocked. Each person has actually surpassed level 100. Our side's combat levels are mostly 60 to 75, completely incomparable to those on the opposing side. This level difference is no joke. If mishandled, people will truly die. Xiuquan speaks slowly. It's quite late. What brings you all here? Bai Yi turns to look at their boss. According to the specter's detection, that person doesn't seem to be here. Licht steps forward. Stop playing dumb. Tell me where he is. However, Xiuquan continues feigning ignorance. What do you mean? You suddenly mention him out of the blue. I have absolutely no idea who you're referring to. This provokes the hot-tempered Fai Long beyond tolerance. His mouth twists as he speaks. You bald fraud, if you don't speak now, everyone here will die. I advise you to wise up facing Fai Long's outburst. Even Xiuquan's good temper flares. It appears you lack proper upbringing. Allow me to educate you properly. This suits Fai Long perfectly. I've always despised you monks acting so superior. Today I want to see exactly how you plan to discipline me. Meanwhile, Mom has already prepared herself here. At this moment, Mom no longer displays her usual gentleness. Her eyes brim with killing intent. The instant she activates the barrier, a mass of black-green smoke envelops all enemies present. This is one of Mom's skills, capable of placing curses on opponents' bodies to weaken them. However, they don't seem to feel anything and instead observe their systems with interest. Fai Long can no longer tolerate the monk before him and prepares to start with him. You despicable people actually ambush us with curses. In merely the blink of an eye, Fai Long arrives before the monk, his face displaying an extremely arrogant smile. Even cursed by trash, I alone can crush your alliance. At this moment, the reversal comes. Xiuquan swiftly opens his palm and catches Fai Long's incoming fist. This shocks Fai Long immensely, his eyes filled with disbelief. Xiuquan smiles and speaks. You seem to lack understanding of the alliance. Today let me show you the alliance's power. Fai Long then discovers with horror that his level has actually dropped from 100 to 70, a full 30 level decrease. Xiuquan chuckles coldly. Losing levels isn't such a big deal, wouldn't you say? Immediately after, his palm presses heavily upon Fai Long's collarbone. The next second, Fai Long's body is directly sent flying by Xiuquan without even a chance to retaliate. Simultaneously, not only Fai Long but all Tiger Roar Guild members present drop 30 levels. This is the power of the curse. Upon entering the curse zone, levels decrease by 50% of the caster's level. I want to see how you defeat us when the level gap isn't significant. However, Licht displays no trace of fear and instead laughs strangely. His expression turns wildly arrogant as he speaks. It appears things have become interesting. Then he signals to Athena behind him. It's time for your performance. After hearing his command, Athena waves her palm as streams of magical power coalesce in her hand. At this moment, full-scale battle erupts completely. Licht wants very much to know whether Yukdu will rush back after learning of the situation here. A wave of dust sweeps over all of us, and teleportation power manifests around Dad and Xiuquan. When they open their eyes again, they discover they have arrived at another location. This place is Athena's arena, specifically designed for dueling. This incredible power greatly shocks Xiuquan. This is absolutely terrible now. Meanwhile, Licht remains at the United Guild. It's been so long since I encountered evenly matched opponents. My heart is racing. Waiting for Yukdu to fall into their trap like this is actually not boring at all. Simultaneously, other United Guild members curse at Licht furiously. You bastard, what have you done to our boss? Next, Licht intends to deal with these guild remnants. Your time has come. Meanwhile, on the other side, I have also found the direction where Park Soo-jin is located. I leap down from the air and land before them. This entrance completely impresses them. Park Soo-jin displays utter shock. Why has this mysterious hunter appeared here? After landing, I pull out the photo from my pocket and compare it with the blonde woman before me. There should be no mistake. She is Park Soo-jin. I hastily raise both hands, indicating I have no hostile intent. I'm from the Alliance. I'm seeking military protection. Park Soo-jin waves her hand, signaling her subordinates to lower their weapons. This person presents no danger. Park Soo-jin has already obtained my basic information. You're Choi Yukdu, correct? You disappeared suddenly 5 years ago and returned triumphantly 5 years later. However, she has something she's extremely curious about and wants to discuss with me properly. Meanwhile, inside the arena on the other side, the duel has also begun. Athena thrusts the staff in her hand forcefully into the ground. She begins summoning the gods with her voice. Please emerge and judge our battle. As she speaks, the staff in her hand gradually glows with red light. The next second, radiance from the staff shoots skyward. This light gradually coalesces into a humanoid figure. In merely moments, an angel manifests before their eyes. Father is greatly shocked. Is this the power of the gods? This duel feels extremely ominous. Below this angel, a blue barrier appears. Within this barrier lies the dueling space for both sides. Each side shall send 5 warriors. The first to achieve 3 victories will receive the blessing of Olympus. The losing side will be burned to death by divine light. Fai Long glares at us with extremely vicious eyes. You people are destined to be defeated here. Await the burning that will descend upon you. Mom feels somewhat worried in her heart. The gap between both sides' power levels and combat abilities is too great. Moreover, things happen too suddenly. She no longer has a way to foresee the future or view future scenes. Dad's eyes show some confusion. It's clearly 5 warriors. But why do we we only have 8 people total here, Athena tells Dad not to worry. Since we said 5 warriors will certainly appear. As for the remaining 2 warriors, they're probably still on the road. Although they'll be late, they absolutely won't be absent. Moreover, they are the protagonists of this decisive battle. At this moment, Fai Long can hardly wait to deal with our side. Who wants to come up first to die? I'll accompany you. Everyone on our side has received notification that entering the battlefield now will initiate the decisive battle. Dad glances at Fai Long across from him. This punk really looks like he's asking for a beating. Let me deal with him. However, Xiu Shanxi's figure blocks his path. This situation occurred entirely because my judgment was lacking. Therefore, I must take responsibility for securing victory in this match. Dad pats his shoulder, telling him not to worry too much. Unexpected things happen in everything. There's nothing you could do about that. Just staying by my side is enough. This isn't your responsibility. Because my wife's curse lowered their levels, we still have a chance in one-on-one situations. So let me handle this match. Even Hante-san beside him agrees. Moreover, she isn't suited for combat. We only need to secure 3 victories. I believe in the boss's strength. He will definitely defeat the opponent. However, Shu Kansai merely chuckles. You probably don't know one thing yet. That person named Fai Long across from us is no simple matter. When he raises his head again, his eyes become extremely serious. That person is Tiger Roar Guild's fiercest existence. Fighting above his level is as simple as eating and drinking for him. After becoming a messenger of God, relying on overwhelmingly powerful divine skills, he single-handedly defeated a guild with 3 F5 members. Most critically, he didn't even suffer serious injuries. Therefore, this battle is best fought by me because I have a strategy to win one arena match. With that, he steps into the battlefield without looking back. Leave the first match to me with confidence. I absolutely will not disappoint you. When his foot enters the battlefield, he discovers no particular sensation. At this moment, the first arena match is about to begin. The combatants from both sides represent each side's most powerful forces. Zhu Shanxi's gaze becomes extremely sharp. Let me face you. Don't you dare disappoint me. He is provoking his opponent. Only by making his opponent lose rationality can he increase his chances of victory. Just as Xu Shanxi predicted, upon hearing these words, Fai Long displays furious anger. You bastard, don't be too arrogant. Athena in the sky above waves her hand broadly. Both sides take your positions. The first arena match officially begins. The moment Athena announces the start of the match, a terrifying aura emanates from Fai Long's body. In the next second, he charges towards Xu Hanxi at blazing speed. You wretched monk, spare me your nonsense and see if you can block this punch. However, the monk blocks all of his attacks. No matter how fast Fai Long moves, he cannot reach the monk's vital points. Dad and his team witness everything happening in the battlefield. The speed of both fighters is almost too fast for his eyes to follow. At this moment, Fai Long seems overly excited. Those moves were just appetizers. Now you should use your full strength to block my attacks. The moment his words fall, Xu Shanxi catches his fist. This excites Dad tremendously. It appears that Xu Shanxi's speed surpasses Fai Long's, and winning the first round seems certain. At this moment, a sinister and terrifying aura emanates from Fai Long's body. The expression on his face shows no concern whatsoever about his hand being caught. Xu Shanxi's expression changes drastically. Something is wrong with this guy. How did his combat power suddenly surge so much? With that said, Xu Shanxi swings his hand forcefully. Regardless of anything else, he must injure his opponent first. After striking with his palm, Xu Shanxi's figure retreats more than 10 meters. He must maintain distance from Fai Long now. Sinister laughter escapes from Fai Long's mouth. You are quite cautious, aren't you? Even Athena and Bai Ye outside the arena admire Xu Shanxi's caution. After launching an active attack, he immediately creates distance. His sense of danger is clearly very sharp. On Xu Shanxi's side, when he struck Fai Long with that palm just now, his hand has already suffered backlash damage. Seeing this scene, Fai Long cannot help but laugh maniacally. He slowly extends his hand. I told you before that you're a fool. It seems I was not wrong. How does my Cadmus's fang taste? Hearing this name, a shocked expression appears on Xu Shanxi's face. Cadmus is Fai Long's pet serpent, possessing his body and fighting alongside him. Fai Long tells Xu Shanxi not to be afraid and to attack as much as he wants. His interest has just been piqued, and he does not want this to end so sloppily. As Fai Long's words fall, his figure vanishes from its original position. Since you won't attack, then I'll be the one to strike. However, whether you can block my attacks depends on how good your defense is. Fai Long's body quickly arrives in front of Xu Shanxi and swings a punch toward his face. Xu Shanxi has no choice but to dodge, because a serpent is coiled around Fai Long's arm. The serpent's attack speed is incredibly fast. There is no telling whether its jaws will bite him in the next moment. Xu Shanxi curses internally. This serpent is far too troublesome. After just a few exchanges, Xu Shanxi clearly notices that the speed of the serpent on Fai Long's hand seems faster than before, and its bite force is even more astonishing. In anger, Xu Shanxi snaps his eyes wide open. Do you really think a monk is easy to bully? In the next second, Xu Shanxi's other fist strikes heavily on the serpent's head. However, at the same time, while using the serpent to attract Xu Shanxi's attention, Fai Long's figure moves like a phantom. With a bang, Fai Long's punch forces Xu Shanxi's body backward. Only at this moment does Xu Shanxi get a chance to catch his breath. He feels something is wrong. The serpent's speed increased, but how did Fai Long's speed also increase? Then he realizes he has been poisoned by the serpent. His overall attributes have decreased, and he instantly understands that it is actually his own speed that has slowed down. At this moment, Fai Long is extremely arrogant. As a monk, your endurance to last this long is already quite impressive. The poison dragon's fang enhances strength and restores health from the blood it absorbs from its victims. In Fai Long's view, this wretched monk has already reached his limit. Dad begins to assess Fai Long's condition at this time. If this battle continues, the gap between them will only widen. He wonders whether Xu Shanxi can survive this ordeal. The battle between Fai Long and Xu Shanxi is raging intensely, with Fai Long currently holding the upper hand. At this moment, Fai Long kicks out and strikes heavily on Xu Shanxi's shoulder. while continuously attacking. Fai Long laughs mockingly. How does it feel to have dragon poison permeating your entire body? I want to see how long you can last. In the next moment, Fei Long's punches all land on Xiu Chunxi's body. However, Xiu Chunxi has no time to counterattack right now. He continuously chants sutras from his mouth. Hearing these muttered scriptures, Fai Long laughs heartily. You wretched monk, do you really think chanting sutras now will help? Do you expect Buddha to come save you? However, what Fai Long does not know is that Athena and Bai Yi have noticed something unusual. Are my eyes deceiving me? Is there really divine power enveloping this monk? He is not even an Eslar. At this moment, golden rays of light emerge on Xiu Chunxi's body, covering him. Fai Long, engaged in battle, does not notice this. Xiu Chunxi blocks Fai Long's attacks while continuously chanting sutras. Dad outside the arena is greatly shocked. He witnesses an incredible scene. This move is extremely risky, but under these circumstances, he actually thought of such a breakthrough solution. We are really going to win this match, because at this moment, Xiu Chunxi is virtually invincible. At this time, Xiu Chunxi brings his palms together. All dharmas return to one. The dharma form is forged within the Vajra precepts. I pay homage to all Buddha manifestations. Heed my summons. At this moment, Fei Long finally realizes something seems wrong. This guy's aura is actually surging explosively. In an instant, a golden Buddha appears in the void. The eyes of this golden bodhisattva are filled with contempt, seemingly not placing Fei Long, the messenger of foreign gods, in its regard at all. Its majesty is absolutely unshakable. However, this scene only shocks Fei Long briefly. He does not care about any gods. These are just petty tricks. Do not think they can block my attacks. Xiu Chunxi's figure is suspended in midair, controlling the great Buddha and preparing to launch a counterattack. Suddenly, Xiu Chunxi's figure bursts forth, moving at an unbelievable speed. However, this suits Fei Long just fine. You idiot, you actually want to engage in close combat with me? Your confidence must come from the armor forged by divine power on your body. This reminds Fei Long of a certain point in the past when he had killed someone just as foolish as Xiu Chunxi. That person had believed he could use condensed divine power to block the poison dragon's fangs. However, what he did not know was that divine power is an even richer energy source than fresh blood. As a result, that person did not even last 2 rounds in Fei Long's hands before being killed outright. Now before him appears another fool just the same, so Fei Long believes the outcome should be identical. However, what Fei Long never expects is that Xiu Chunxi's fist actually strikes heavily on his face. The speed of this punch gives him absolutely no time to react. Xiu Chunxi swings his arm, and the recoil force of that power directly sends Fei Long's body flying. This fills him with disbelief. He actually used divine power to suppress the poison dragon's debuff and restored his own speed. Then immediately after, Xiu Chunxi's large foot kicks him in the lower abdomen. Fei Long spits out a mouthful of fresh blood. It seems not only has his speed recovered, but his strength has also recovered, along with his reaction ability. It appears he has received a significant boost in all aspects. Having regained his strength, Xiu Chunxi furiously beats Fei Long, as if venting all the frustration he had just endured. Fei Long's pain tolerance is also extremely formidable. It can be said that he is the strongest tank in the guild. He directly withstands Xiu Shenzai's attacks and seizes opportunities to use the poison dragon to counterattack. Fei Long's eyes are filled with excitement. You probably do not know yet, but the divine power on your body is the most perfect nourishment for my pet. You cursed monk, just obediently become food for the poison dragon. This shocks Xiu Shenzai immensely. How is this possible? His divine power is actually being absorbed by the poison dragon. Fei Long laughs heartily. Your divine power is now mine, so I have won this arena match. However, what Fei Long never expects is that the divine power he just absorbed can actually restrain his movements. His expression turns to one of horror. He has no idea what just happened, because at this moment, his ability to mobilize divine power has been completely blocked. In other words, he can no longer control divine power. Xiu Chunxi chuckles. You arrogant fellow, do you not think you are celebrating too early? As his words fall, he blasts out a punch striking the poison dragon. You always call me a fool, but it turns out you are even more foolish than me. You probably do not know yet, but the Rakshasa power on my body places an extreme burden on the body. These words completely stun Fei Long. Does this mean even my poison dragon cannot absorb your divine power? How is this possible? Xiu Chunxi looks at him as if looking at an idiot. When did I ever say this was divine power? You are far too naive. Although he is conversing with Fei Long, Xiu Chunxi's attacks have never stopped. With a bang, Fei Long flies out after being struck. Who would have thought that the renowned Fei Long of Tiger Roar Guild would actually be beaten up by a monk? If word got out, probably no one would believe it. Mom outside the arena calmly watches this scene. It seems the battle between Xiu Chunxi and Fei Long should be secured. Mom previously could not understand Xiu Chunxi's feelings about why he wanted to transform into a Rakshasa. This not only prevents him from ever becoming an Eslar, but even the power on his body will be limited to the strength of his physical body. Moreover, the karma of that power is extremely strong and difficult to control. He must regularly accumulate merit to maintain this power. Only meditative power can prevent karma from devouring him. Karma refers to cause and effect. Fei Long has already absorbed karma beyond his control. For him, even moving a muscle will become extraordinarily difficult. At this moment, Xiu Chunxi, believing the outcome is decided, brings his palms together and bows to him. However, his words are not polite in the slightest. It seems your frequent evil deeds have left you without any meditative power, which is why you cannot possibly control my karma. Dad laughs heartily. I told you all to rest assured. Xiu Chunxi is very powerful. If he says he can win, he will definitely win this round. On the other side, Athena and Bai Yi are also extremely surprised. They had no idea such power existed. However, with just this little trick alone, it is not enough for him to win this battle. If this is all there is, then they are greatly underestimating us Eslars. At this moment, Fei Long props himself up with one hand, trying to rise from the ground. In the next second, he uses all his strength and finally regains control of his body. However, Fei Long is now extremely weak, and his divine power cannot even maintain the poison dragon's form. His eyes burst with towering rage. If that is the case, then at worst we will fight to the death. No matter what, he absolutely cannot lose this this match. Suddenly, Fai Long grabs with both hands and tears open the mouth of the poison dragon on his shoulder. I will go all out one last time. Prepare to die, wretched monk. Afterwards, Shu Chunxi sees a large mass burst forth from Fai Long's body. Just a single drop of the poison dragon's blood falling to the floor causes a large amount of pink smoke to rise. Seeing the situation, Shu Chunxi immediately covers his mouth and nose and holds his breath. This blood actually contains lethal poison. This forces him to be careful. Looking up, he sees that a large amount of mist has already dispersed throughout this space. Shu Chunxi hears a thunderous sound, which instantly sharpens his gaze. Dad and Hante-san outside the arena are extremely shocked. This sound seems like war drums, but how is this possible? At this moment, Fai Long is completely unaffected within the smoke, as if still conducting some kind of ritual. General Ares, I offer the blood of the poison dragon. Please grant me your spear. As his words fall, this mass of smoke slowly forms into a tornado. In an instant, a spear of the same hue appears in midair. Fai Long wants to extend his hand to catch this spear. This is his final trump card. As long as he has this spear, he can continue fighting until this body turns to dust. There is no fear in Fai Long's eyes, only endless battle intent. Athena is utterly astonished upon seeing this. This is actually a divine weapon. Even an Eslar cannot use it without level restrictions, and can only wield it briefly. It carries the power of the gods and can adapt to the combat style of the Eslar who wields it. Baye laughs heartily. This is probably the insurmountable gap between ordinary players and Eslars. Shu Chunxi might be doomed today. At this moment, Athena feels somewhat worried. Fai Long offered the poison dragon that Ares gave him. If the gods see through this little trick, they will surely be furious. However, given Ares' merciful nature, if Fai Long wins, he probably will not pursue the matter. But conversely, the same logic applies. If Fai Long loses, then he will face unimaginable punishment. Clearly, at this moment, Fai Long cannot care about any punishment and only wants to win the battle before him. Athena quickly dismisses her concerns. An ordinary player could never possibly defeat an Eslar wielding a divine weapon. I am really worrying for nothing. After obtaining the spear, Fai Long's confidence surges greatly. He now completely does not place Shushin Silicon in his regard, and his strength has also received a certain boost. Next is the time for him to begin his counterattack. Shu Chunxi is greatly startled. Does he intend to engage in close combat again? However, in the next second, Shu Chunxi actually cannot see the spear in Fai Long's hand. Although he cannot see Fai Long's weapon, Shu Chunxi understands one thing: he must maintain distance from him. As long as he creates a certain distance, Fai Long should not be able to reach him. However, as this thought occurs to him, a spear attack slashes across his cheek. This shocks Shu Chunxi's expression immensely. Do you think this is over now? My next attacks will be even more fierce. You wretched monk, explode for me! As Fai Long's voice falls, sure enough, an explosive sound rings beside Shu Chunxi's ear. This explosion catches Shu Chunxi somewhat off guard. Fortunately, he senses something wrong and blocks it in time with an incantation. However, he feels that the spear is also covered with a corrosive effect similar to the poison dragon. The system notification he receives states that due to the corrosive effect of Ares' blood, his defense has decreased by 50%. That is 50%. In other words, Shu Chunxi's defense has now been reduced by half. At this moment, Fai Long walks leisurely towards Shu Chunxi. I presume your armor should be broken now. Let us see how you defend next. In the next moment, Fai Long moves like lightning, rapidly approaching Shu Chunxi. After reaching him, he swiftly swings a punch, but Shu Chunxi cleverly dodges it. However, although he evades the punch, this does not mean Shu Chunxi can dodge the spear's attacks. Shu Chunxi's eyes are filled with shock. He can actually launch spear spikes from various parts of his body. How can I fight this? If he had not previously weakened Fai Long's abilities, he would probably be dead by now. Shu Chunxi seizes the opportunity and swiftly strikes out with a palm. However, the power of this strike is completely negligible and is easily evaded by Fai Long. However, Shu Chunxi also takes this opportunity to quickly create distance from Fai Long. Right now, he still does not know what the maximum range of the spear's attack is. At this time, Shu Chunxi slowly raises his hand and continuously chants, "May the three realms be purified, all conflicts be cleansed, and blazing karmic sins be eliminated." Fai Long laughs maniacally. Is this your limit? As he speaks, he even uses his fingernails to slash open his palm, letting his fresh blood spray out. Within just a few seconds, a large amount of fresh blood flows from Fai Long's wound. Do not think keeping your distance will save you. Now I am going to extend my attack range. Let us see how you handle this. To Fai Long's provocation, Shu Chunxi pays no attention whatsoever. He continues to silently recite the mantra. Soon, Fai Long witnesses something that shocks him immensely. Above Fai Long, a magical formation envelops his entire body. The golden light seems to imprison him, with an immense pressure threatening to crush his form. This fills Fai Long's eyes with disbelief. This is Shu Chunxi's silently recited mantra of Enlan, a sacred incantation that purifies and dispels obstructive forces. The effect of the poison dragon's blood has now been mostly removed. However, arrogant laughter emanates from Fai Long's mouth. He feels he has not been defeated. You want to use incantations to seal my movements and then win from a distance? Do not be so naive. What follows is an incredible scene. Fai Long actually stands up while bearing that pressure. Moreover, a terrifying aura emanates from his body. When Dad detects Fai Long's information, he cannot help but be greatly shocked. He immediately warns Shu Chunxi to be careful. Right now, Fai Long is extremely dangerous. With a swoosh, that crimson spike directly pierces through Shu Chunxi's head. Fortunately, it only pierces his conical hat and does not cause him substantial harm. However, it is still very dangerous and gives Shu Chunxi quite a fright. At the same time, Athena's figure appears before Dad. Her entire body radiates sacred light. However, her mouth speaks with extreme coldness. Interferers will be punished. With a boom, a golden golden punishment descends upon Dad. Unable to endure the pain, he directly falls to his knees. Mom behind him immediately begins healing Dad. Honey, are you alright? At this moment, Dad's heart is filled with terror. Just the flames alone prevent him from standing. Just how powerful are the gods? Moreover, what disgusts Dad the most is that the goddess Athena actually reduced 1 point of his health. He feels extremely humiliated. On the other side, Fei Long's blood energy surges skyward. Every blood trail is poisonous gas, plus spear spikes. If someone had not just warned you, you might already be dead. Fei Long's gaze then glances toward Dad. It seems that person has received his due punishment. At this time, cold sweat has already formed on Xu Shanxi's temples. Close combat is already fraught with risk, but his blood swords can actually attack from range. This greatly increases the difficulty. He stands up and slowly performs a breathing exercise. Considering my remaining stamina, I probably only have 3 minutes left. Even so, I have no choice. Now I can only fight. On the other side, Fei Long is different. His patience has almost worn out. He just wants to quickly end this battle because continuing to fight is just a waste of time. Both simultaneously release their magical power. In an instant, crackling thunder reverberates through the air. Xu Shanxi closes his eyes. The realms of the Arhat are divided into Celestial Eye, Wisdom Eye, Dharma Eye, and Buddha Eye. If I use the Dharma Eye, I might be able to win. All Dharmas return to one. Dharma Eye open. At this moment, the monk is like a Buddha killer. His heart no longer holds mercy, but embodies the way of killing to the end. The ability of this Dharma Eye can greatly increase his combat capability. At the same time, Fei Long also readies his spear. Although he has already activated the Dharma Eye at this moment, its effect will not last long. He must quickly find a breakthrough, otherwise he will be the one to die. Xu Shanxi locks his gaze on the spear. He discovers that not much divine power is concentrated on the spear. Not only that, but the blood sword from earlier is the same. There is not much divine power covering it either. At this moment, Xu Shanxi finally understands. So that is it. The person before him is already a tiger with its teeth pulled. In the next second, 3 Buddha seals appear behind Xu Shanxi. Facing Fei Long's attack, Xu Shanxi directly catches it with his hand. This astonishes Fei Long's expression. Right there, he actually saw through my attack. How is this possible? Can a wretched monk be this clever? Xu Shanxi laughs heartily. This is your blood spear? This is truly beyond my expectations. It seems it is nothing special after all. Then, with a slight exertion of force from his hands, he directly shatters the spear in Fei Long's hand. You are truly laughable, actually using this blood spear as your ultimate weapon. In my eyes, your ultimate weapon is absolutely nothing. Fei Long cries out in disbelief. How could my blood spear break so easily? This scene shocks Athena and Bai Yi outside the arena immensely. How did he block those blood threads as fine as hair? Can human eyes see something so thin? In contrast to those two, Dad's heart is filled with wild joy. It seems everything Xu Shanxi said before was true. He really does have countermeasures against Eslar. Having such a person by our side is truly reliable. Xu Shanxi glances at the blood mist on his hand. With so much evil energy accumulated within the body, evil thoughts will naturally arise as well. Thinking of this, Xu Shanxi prepares to purify all the evil energy in this blood mist. Incomparable karma permeates his fingers, and the blood mist is instantly purified. At this time, Fei Long is still somewhat unconvinced. So what if you saw through my attack? I can still continue fighting you. At this moment, Xu Shanxi is also somewhat shocked. The blood mist that was just purified has actually emerged once again, and this blood mist can actually control itself autonomously and attack. Athena on the side slowly speaks. The divine power in the bloodline is not balanced, and because the blood is so diluted, it can actually penetrate the enemy's defenses. This blood mist will become a lethal attack, rushing madly towards Xu Shanxi. Athena and Bai Yi also want to know how Xu Shanxi will handle the situation. At this critical moment, Xu Shanxi instantly unleashes the Dharma Eye. A powerful gravitational force presses down on Fei Long's body, making it nearly impossible for him to stand. Fei Long's expression is extremely ferocious. This damned wretched monk actually still has a killing move. At this moment, Xu Shanxi extends one hand. Instantly, the blood swords around him cannot advance even half an inch further. All beings are bound by ignorance, bound by afflictions, falling into the 3 evil paths and enduring boundless suffering. Outside the arena, Athena anxiously shouts, "Be careful of that wretched monk's eyes. He can see the flow of divine power." Fei Long is very confused. What kind of eyes are those exactly? Athena tells Fei Long very bad news, which is that all of Fei Long's current attacks are completely meaningless against the monk. Hearing this, Hante-san's expression shows great shock. Damn Athena, she actually saw through the monk's Dharma Eye so quickly. He immediately looks up at the phantom of the goddess Athena above. That Athena on the other side is attempting to interfere in this battle. Will you not stop her? The goddess Athena seems to show a troubled expression. As the arbiter, she absolutely cannot turn a blind eye. Then, the phantom of the goddess Athena points toward Athena. One warning. If this happens again, there will be punishment. Hante-san is so angry he curses out loud. Is this not blatant favoritism? Why did our boss receive punishment while that woman on the other side only received a warning? However, Dad directly stops him. It doesn't matter. Quickly observe the monk's battle. As long as Xu Shanxi wins this match, nothing else matters. At this time within the battlefield, Xu Shanxi's hand remains raised. Countless gravitational forces, like multiple layers stacked upon one another, press down on Fei Long's body, preventing him from standing. Fei Long curses at Athena. Shut your mouth. It is not your turn to help me. A mere wretched monk cannot do anything to me. However, immediately after, he pays the price for these words because he witnesses an extremely terrifying scene. At this moment, the monk's aura changes dramatically as he mutters sutras from his mouth. More importantly, a Dharma form actually appears behind him. This Dharma form has great origins. This is the sacred form of Fudo Mayu, the phantom of the Dharma god. Although it only possesses 10% of the original's power, this is still not something a mere Eslar can handle. In his fury, Fei Long is almost driven to desperation at this moment. Damn, wretched monk. Why do you constantly have trump cards emerging? Xu Chanxi does not pay him any attention and continues chanting sutras. If this sutra is recited, he will manifest before us, removing obstacles and granting peace. If sentient beings sincerely recite my name. Just like this, Xu Chanxi continues devoutly chanting the summoning sutra. This is the sutra that all monks learn first, but this does not mean it is weak. On the contrary, through manifestation, Fudomayu's attack power and defense can be enhanced by more than double. To accomplish this requires immense talent and perseverance. As long as he completes the recitation of this sutra, he can obtain 10% of the original's power. However, this sutra requires 30 seconds. During this period, he absolutely cannot be distracted in the slightest, otherwise all previous efforts will be wasted. Little does he know, at this moment, Fai Long's face has already twisted with rage. His body begins to secretly exert force, trying to break free from this gravitational hold. However, just as he is about to stand, Xu Kanxi's hand presses down lightly, and Fai Long kneels before him once again. Xu Kanxi's heart is immensely satisfied. When his eyes look toward Fai Long, they reveal a mocking gaze. Reciting sutras for 30 seconds in front of an enemy is simply the ultimate humiliation. The clever Fai Long thinks of a foolish move, which is to tear open his own flesh and blood, letting fresh blood flow out to launch a sneak attack on Xu Chanxi. When his blood flows onto the ground, it rushes towards Xu Chanxi at extreme speed, attempting to interrupt his recitation. Seeing this scene, Athena cannot help but worry. This is truly an idiot. He could have broken the seal and then disrupted the sutra, but now he is actually doing meaningless things. Fai Long's attacks now cannot harm Xu Chanxi at all with the Dharma Eye activated. No matter how many blood swords there are, Xu Chanxi can easily evade them. Unfortunately, at this moment, Fai Long's mind has already become chaotic, or rather he has completely lost his rationality. His only thought is to make that damned bald monk on the other side die here. However, this point will likely disappoint Fai Long because his attacks consistently cannot reach Xu Chanxi's face. This incantation possesses the power to suppress evil dragon bloodlines. Forcibly breaking it requires consuming massive amounts of divine power. Therefore, Fai Long's attacks are completely meaningless before this Dharma Eye. Unable to even injure him, Fai Long releases several more blood swords, but they are cleverly evaded by the monk's movement techniques. Fai Long has now gone completely mad. At the same time, Xu Chanxi's sutra recitation has about 15 seconds remaining to completion. As long as the sutra recitation is completed, Fai Long's defeat is certain. However, at this moment, an accident occurs. Blood actually flows from Xu Chanxi's eyes. It appears his eyes have also reached their limit. He originally could not use the Dharma Eye for too long. It seems both sides have reached their limits. What follows is to see who can hold out longer. Seeing this scene, Fai Long's heart fills with wild joy. Since the monk on the other side has also reached his limit, now is his only chance to counterattack. His hands heavily pound the ground, and countless streams of blood emerge. Just as Fai Long prepares to release all the blood in his body without leaving a trace, the Dharma body of Fudomayu above becomes more and more solid. In at most 10 seconds, the monk will be able to complete the sutra recitation. 9 seconds remain. Mom's side already shows a triumphant smile. When 6 seconds remain, Athena has already closed her eyes. She does not believe Fai Long has any trump cards left to counterattack. Behind her, Baye curses out loud. This hothead truly has no brains whatsoever. 3 seconds remain. Dad and Hante-san also feel victory is assured. This duel should no longer have any suspense. However, no one present knows that Xu Chanxi has now surpassed his limits. The Dharma Eye he is now releasing is sustained at the cost of his own lifespan, but he still does not dare to be careless in the slightest, and continues reciting the sutra. All follows the mind, like the world-honored one. When Xu Kanxi finishes reciting this phrase, the time has reached 0 seconds. As his words fall, the Fudomayu behind Xu Kanxi begins to move. His speed is extremely fast, and he contains a mysterious power that presses down on Fai Long, making him even more unable to move. Fudomayu's strongest strike lands heavily on Fai Long's body. The power of this punch directly causes him to lose consciousness. Thus, the S-rank hunter of Tiger Roar Guild, the SLR Guardian Messenger Fai Long, is thoroughly defeated. The victor is the vice president of United Guild, also an S-rank hunter, Xu Chanxi. Xu Chanxi exhales a long breath. He had long reached his limit, but fortunately, before he collapsed, he defeated the opponent's strongest fighter, Fai Long. Athena in mid-air announces the victor as the allied forces. After announcing the victor, the barrier begins to slowly disappear. Our group breaks into joyful cheers. Xu Chanxi bows to everyone. My abilities are limited. I was fortunate enough to defeat the opponent Fai Long, which truly fills me with shame. However, fortunately, I did not disappoint everyone. Athena's phantom addresses the crowd with an announcement. The winner of the first finals match is the United Guild. After Fai Long teleports out, Athena begins healing his injuries. Fai Long's body proves remarkably resilient, healing completely in just over 10 minutes. At this moment, Athena speaks to him with an icy tone. It's time you trained harder. You couldn't even handle a monk. What a disgrace. Neither of them notices that a pair of feet has appeared behind Fai Long. Upon sensing the auras of these two figures, Fai Long's eyes fill with shock. One wields a long sword, the other holds a long whip. They feel ashamed of Fai Long's defeat, so they intend to teach him a harsh lesson. Fai Long repeatedly apologizes, promising he will never lose again. However, his apologies prove utterly useless. A thunderous roar silences him. Shut your mouth. Failure is failure. No reasons, no excuses. Mockery spreads across their faces. Father sent us a message expressing his deep disappointment in your performance. Now you have the honor of being executed by us. Our weapons will claim a portion of your power. Terror fills Fai Long's eyes, but he remains helpless, forced to passively accept his punishment. The next moment, the shadowy figure behind him viciously lashes the whip against Fai Long's body. These strikes draw blood, sending chills down Choi Jin Han's spine as he watches. Is this how they treat their own allies? After beating him for over 10 minutes, they finally stop. Father shows mercy today. This ends here. If you disappoint Father again, come prepared to lose your head. Fai Long now hangs on by a thread, considering their weapons are divine weapons. Before departing, they They leave him with a cold "watch yourself" and vanish from this space. After they leave, resentment burns in Fai Long's eyes. That damn monk is to blame. I'll kill him eventually. In stark contrast, the monk receives praise from everyone after winning his match, while Fai Long endures a brutal beating. Laughter interrupts Fai Long's thoughts. You probably won't get that chance because I'm up next. With a wave of his palm, purple-black energy materializes in his hand, slowly condensing into a black scythe. His claim about no chance stems from his certainty that Tiger Roar Guild will win, and the loser will burn alive in Hades' eternal hellfire. Next up, someone from our side will face him. Choi Jin-han ponders for a moment, sensing this person's aura rivals Fai Long's strength, so he decides to take this match himself. As Choi Jin-han steps into the arena, his wife hands him a sachet. Take this with you. Your opponent is Eslar the Death God. He has inherited at least 60% of the Death God's power, so his attacks will definitely target the soul. This might help. He accepts the item from his wife. If you're giving this to me, it must be crucial. Behind them, Shikhan-si and Han-tae-san shout their rallying cry. United Guild will prevail. Choi Jin-han responds with determination. I'll finish him and return immediately. The next second, Choi Jin-han strides boldly toward the battlefield's center, his silhouette carrying the spirit of a warrior marching toward his fate with unwavering resolve. As a warrior, Choi Jin-han can release sword energy to suppress distant enemies, but this requires charging time. In one-on-one combat, close quarters fighting represents his optimal strategy. Choi Jin-han mentally rehearses the battle sequence. First, he will use flash step to close the distance, then unleash continuous killing strikes to prevent counterattacks. Third, identify the opponent's weakness and deliver a decisive finishing blow. He names this plan the three-step assassination method. This approach represents the simplest yet most effective tactic. At this moment, ghostly shadows emerge from Baiye's body, swirling around him. Athena's phantom in midair waves her hand. Warriors, take your positions. This match begins now. The instant the match starts, Baiye swiftly swings his scythe, and countless ghost shadows rush toward Choi Jin-han. Choi Jin-han focuses completely. Following the first step of his three-step method, he will use flash step to phase through the spirits and analyze his opponent's movements. With this thought, he rapidly slashes left and right, creating an X pattern that carves a path through the evil spirits. Witnessing this, Baiye feels somewhat surprised. Appears to be just another conventional, predictable swordsman. As Baiye speaks these words, Choi Jin-han's figure already appears behind him, hand positioned for an Eye Jutsu strike. Yet Baiye seems completely unfazed, his face maintaining an expression of absolute control. With a sharp zing sound, Choi Jin-han's blade slashes horizontally, cleaving Baiye's body in two. The strike's power proves devastatingly fierce, giving Baiye no time to react. However, shock fills Choi Jin-han's mind, as his hands detect no sensation of cutting solid matter, meaning his strategy has failed. The figure he just struck turns out to be a ghost shadow clone. Undeniably, Choi Jin-han has missed a golden opportunity and exposed his trump card to the enemy. Choi Jin-han curses under his breath. Damn it. Dozens of evil spirits materialize behind him, lunging toward him. The spirits instantly form a black mist tornado, engulfing Choi Jin-han's body. However, Baiye knows this tornado cannot contain him, so he continuously retreats. Just as Baiye predicted, Choi Jin-han casually swings his blade once and carves an escape route. After emerging from the tornado, Choi Jin-han does not pause but charges directly toward Baiye's true body. He must win quickly and eliminate this opponent. A hint of amusement crosses Baiye's face. I thought you might be intelligent, but you're even more foolish than Fai Long. Seems this is the extent of your ability. The moment Baiye finishes speaking, Choi Jin-han instantly cleaves with his sword, again splitting his body in two. Regrettably, Choi Jin-han falls for the same trick. His attack once again strikes a ghost shadow clone, meaning both of his attacks have failed to harm Baiye's true body. Choi Jin-han's hearing proves extremely sharp, constantly tracking Baiye's voice. He quickly locks onto the true body's direction once more. At this point, Choi Jin-han resembles a tireless bee, continuously cutting down Baiye's ghost shadow clones, but each strike proves futile. Choi Jin-han nearly wins the match by making Baiye laugh himself to death. I've never encountered such a foolish swordsman. Don't you realize my ghost shadow clones are endless? After speaking, Baiye summons dozens more clones, appearing before Choi Jin-han. Go ahead and guess which clone is actually my true body. Baiye exhales a breath of mist toward Choi Jin-han. A warrior who cannot even see his enemy holds no value whatsoever. You cannot win this match. Choi Jin-han's eyes sharpen intensely. Since those techniques proved ineffective, I have no choice but to use that move. The next second, Choi Jin-han assumes a peculiar stance, gripping his blade firmly and holding it vertically before him as his aura surges dramatically. Since you're so confident, do you dare face this technique? However, the Tiger Roar Guild's S-rank hunter refuses to give Choi Jin-han time to charge. With two swift whoosh sounds, Choi Jin-han rapidly strikes twice, destroying the incoming ghost shadows. Watching the battle in the arena, Athena believes Choi Jin-han has absolutely no chance of victory. However, one thing catches her attention. His wife's expression remains completely calm, showing no concern for him whatsoever. For someone of lower status, her composure seems excessive. They must be hiding some trump card. Meanwhile, Choi Jin-han assumes an offensive stance, instantly piquing Baiye's interest. Looks like you have some new technique to show. At this moment, shock crosses Athena's face as she urgently warns Baiye to be careful. The instant Athena speaks, Baiye also senses something wrong. Choi Jin-han instantly vanishes from his position, taking 4 rapid steps to appear behind Baiye. Fire nearly blazes in his eyes, his killing intent barely contained. This technique represents Choi Jin-han's own enlightenment, named the 8-fold jump. This terrifying technique involves 8 consecutive jumps, with speed increasing exponentially with each leap. Previously, Choi Jin-han used this move to evade the vengeful spirit's pursuit. At this moment, Choi Jin-han charges his legs again, and with a swoosh, his figure vanishes instantly, moving too fast for eyes to track. When he reappears, he has nearly caught up to Baiye, his blade charged and ready. Great shock fills Baiye's mind. What is with this man? Why does he keep getting faster? In this critical situation, Baiye quickly positions a clone to intercept the strike. Choi Jin-han's gaze remains locked on Baiye. So you're here. You cannot escape. In another blink, Choi Jin-han appears before Bai Ye. This marks his 5th jump. Upon reaching Bai Ye, he releases a blade beam. Unfortunately, this strike still hits a clone, causing no harm to Bai Ye. However, Choi Jin-han quickly tracks Bai Ye's figure again, and almost the instant he detects Bai Ye's location, he swiftly strikes once more. This time, Bai Ye genuinely panics. If not for his quick reflexes, he would have lost his head. Before he can process this, Choi Jin-han's 7th jump brings him to Bai Ye's back. The outcome remains unchanged as Choi Jin-han misses again. Bai Ye's reaction speed proves truly exceptional. Choi Jin-han possesses this power through inheritance from a hero. Now he exploits his speed advantage to shred Bai Ye's soul completely, then finally sever his head. With a metallic clang, their weapons clash together. Just as Choi Jin-han anticipated, exceeding Bai Ye's speed prevents him from generating ghost shadow clones. Maintaining speed superiority over Bai Ye ensures Choi Jin-han's victory. At this moment, a warrior silhouette slowly materializes behind Choi Jin-han, representing his hero inheritance. Athena's expression turns extremely grim. No wonder he can serve as a guild president despite not being Eslar. This power alone suffices to compete with other guilds. Many theories existed regarding the tower's origin, with the most widely accepted being that the tower represented the concrete manifestation of human history merging with mythology. History and mythology proved inseparable. If gods symbolized mythology, then heroes naturally represented history. However, inheriting a hero differed entirely from being chosen by gods. While people strived to be chosen by gods, inheriting a hero resembled a destined encounter. Therefore, in Athena's view, Choi Jin-han represents an exceptionally fortunate individual. A smirk curves Bai Ye's lips. Do you truly believe you can defeat me in close combat? A mere mortal body can never triumph over the Death God's scythe. Despite wielding the Death God's scythe, Bai Ye's personal combat ability appears unimpressive. Choi Jin-han feels confident about victory. Regarding attack range and coverage, Choi Jin-han holds the advantage while Bai Ye remains at a disadvantage. However, as a divine weapon, it represents something no human can easily master. Bai Ye swings the scythe with fierce momentum, then strikes downward directly. However, this very strike exposes a massive opening. Mockery fills Choi Jin-han's eyes. Seems no god taught you how to wield that weapon. At this moment, Bai Ye finally loses his composure. The next instant, Choi Jin-han's blade pierces straight through his heart. Choi Jin-han chuckles. You plan to dodge using that technique, but unfortunately, this is my 8th jump. Witnessing this scene, Hante-san exclaims with delight, worthy of being our leader securing victory so quickly. However, his mother's voice interrupts the celebration. Declaring victory proves premature. That strike inflicted no damage on Bai Ye. Simultaneously on the battlefield, eerie laughter escapes from Bai Ye's mouth. Your victorious expression truly amuses me to no end. Shock overwhelms Choi Jin-han. I did not hit him? Does his ghost shadow clone have no cooldown? Bai Ye laughs heartily. I never said I could only swap positions with spirit bodies. You assumed everything yourself. As he speaks, his hand already extends into Choi Jin-han's heart. He clenches forcefully, grasping Choi Jin-han's heart. Once he solidifies his body, Choi Jin-han faces certain death. My father senses immense danger approaching. This situation appears dire. Without hesitation, he executes a retreat step and escapes his position. This time, Choi Jin-han genuinely underestimated his opponent. That previous move marked him with the mark of the Underworld Lord. Bai Ye's lethal technique catches Choi Jin-han completely off guard. He can transform into an ethereal spirit form, dissolving even his physical body. At this moment, Bai Ye resembles the death god returned from hell. Once I mark you 4 times, your soul becomes mine, and you will serve as my puppet. However, I will not grant you a second escape opportunity. My next strike will crush your heart directly. Shortly after, Choi Jin-han discovers a mark on his chest, the seal of Hades. Upon reaching the 4th level, he will transform into a specter of Hades. Choi Jin-han now faces a desperate struggle. Getting too close risks physical contact, making additional marks inevitable. Even the formidable Choi Jin-han encounters difficulty. Bai Ye's ability proves exceptionally troublesome. His hand grips the sachet so tightly it creaks. His 8-fold jump remains on cooldown, and he desperately wishes to unleash his finishing move now. Bai Ye chuckles. I acknowledge your talent, but ultimately you are just a nobody. With that, his figure rapidly flies toward Choi Jin-han. Bai Ye currently exists in spirit form, continuously consuming mana and taking increased damage from magical attacks. However, Bai Ye proves fortunate. His opponent relies solely on physical attacks, rendering Choi Jin-han's strikes ineffective. As Bai Ye charges forward, his claws stealthily reach toward Choi Jin-han's shoulder. Choi Jin-han's reaction speed proves equally swift, retreating immediately upon sensing the danger. Bai Ye laughs loudly. Your movements prove quick enough, but everything remains futile. Immediately after, he swiftly swings his scythe toward Choi Jin-han's body. This strike lands successfully, planting a mark on his right shoulder. This marks the 2nd time. If I strike you twice more, you will never escape. Anxiety overwhelms Choi Jin-han. Continuing like this spells his doom. Bai Ye continues describing Choi Jin-han's fate. Your body will burn, decay, and disintegrate in hell. Your bones will deteriorate and crumble into powder. Ultimately, chains will bind your soul, transforming you into my puppet. After speaking, Bai Ye moves again. Cold sweat breaks out across Choi Jin-han, this damned bastard. The next second, Bai Ye appears behind Choi Jin-han, placing another mark. This is the 3rd time. Choi Jin-han rapidly retreats, swinging his blade, but these physical attacks prove completely useless. Subsequently, Choi Jin-han changes tactics, continuously increasing distance from Bai Ye. Bai Ye sees through this ploy. You wish to exhaust my mana, forcing me out of spirit form? Unfortunately, this method will not work. He can maintain spirit form for at least 3 more minutes. One more touch guarantees his victory. This means the next exchange will determine everything. Choi Jin-han clearly understands this reality. He channels all his power into his blade. Bai Ye laughs heartily. You truly are a fool. In your current state, you still charge your sword. Are you not afraid of receiving the 4th mark? The moment he finishes speaking, his body reaches Choi Jin-han's rear. However, Choi Jin-han slowly draws his blade. The instant the blade emerges from its sheath, lightning crackles along the steel with each inch drawn. Bai Ye believes victory is assured. Neither sword strikes nor physical attacks can touch him, while he merely only needs to land one hit. As Bai Yi moves, Choi Jin-han moves simultaneously. He recalls the sachet his wife gave him earlier. Thank God it proves useful at this moment. Choi Jin-han has prepared extensively for this moment. This attack will definitely kill Bai Yi. Killing intent fills his eyes. He unleashes the eightfold jump, appearing before Bai Yi and slashing. As Choi Jin-han's blade slowly returns to its sheath, Bai Yi's head falls from his neck instantly. A direct throat strike delivers instant death. Meanwhile, elsewhere, the protagonist finally appears after his long absence, now running desperately. He has received word that his parents face danger. Waiting for him in the arena stands an exceptionally formidable triple S rank hunter. I truly hope you arrive quickly, or this will end in such a boring manner. Inside the battlefield, after slaying Bai Yi, Choi Jin-han prepares to return and celebrate. However, Shushan-si detects something amiss. The dark energy grows increasingly powerful. Vast dark power erupts from Bai Yi's body. Choi Jin-han turns his head, only to find terror etched on Bai Yi's face as well. At this moment, Bai Yi's eyes appear to witness something that fills him with absolute dread. Before him, a skeletal bone hand tears open space, and a skeleton demon king emerges. How pathetic you are, losing so decisively. Choi Jin-han instantly becomes alert. What is this creature? Its magical power proves incredibly formidable. The skeleton demon king completely ignores Choi Jin-han, directly grasping Bai Yi's severed head between bony fingers. I granted you power to win this match. Your defeat proves your worthlessness. With a sickening splat, the skeleton demon king crushes Bai Yi's head. All your lives will end here. Shock fills his eyes. Is this the skeleton demon king Hades? Subsequently, he erupts with his remaining strength and charges toward the demon king. Hante-san senses the danger. In his current condition, charging forward means certain death. The skeleton demon king Hades merely glances dismissively at Choi Jin-han, then lightly squeezes, gripping Choi Jin-han tightly. You damned human truly know not your place. Witnessing the scene, guild members attempt to rescue Choi Jin-han with all their might. However, Athena's phantom blocks their path. They are all conspirators, and this arena exists solely to target them. Athena's tone turns ice cold. From this moment forward, no one may trespass upon the domain of the gods. The instant Athena's voice falls silent, lightning crackles behind her, and her body completely disintegrates. This stuns the two Tiger Roar Guild members. Look quickly, a figure appears to be descending from the sky. That figure is me. I pierce directly through the barrier with my weapon. Although I do not understand the current situation, I know my arrival proves timely. Everyone remains here, witnessing my family's dire condition. I deduce what transpired. From this point forward, I will challenge all of you. Come at me together! 3 minutes earlier, the skeleton demon king Hades sees Choi Jin-han's body. Mother cries out urgently, Yukdu, everything depends on you now. Simultaneously, overwhelming killing intent erupts from my eyes as the lightning spear in my hand continues condensing. The next moment, I strike lightning upon Hades' skull. Hades responds with fury. Even if you break through the barrier and intrude, your father now belongs to me. On the other side, Hante-san hammers the ground forcefully. Do not worry about anything else. Rescue our leader first. As my body descends toward the ground, a stone pillar rises to elevate me once more. Thank you so much, Hante-san. I will properly thank you once this ends. I kick off forcefully from the ground, targeting the skeleton's arm. Even Demon King Hades completely panics now, as I shatter his arm with a single punch. This causes Hades to scream in agony. You brat dare to sever my arm. Seizing this opportunity, I pry open his grasp and rescue my father. The killing intent radiating from my body becomes tangible. As long as I stand here, I will let no one die, and none of you will leave alive. Hades roars in fury, yet he cannot harm me. I never expected my father could endure until now. However, this skeleton poses no threat to me. The real problem remains the man stationed outside. Someone outside the barrier controls lightning. That individual proves far from ordinary. Since leaving the abyss, he represents the strongest person I have encountered. What puzzles me is why his lightning attack inflicted no damage, and why he brazenly allowed my entry. This does not constitute my greatest confusion. Most inexplicably, after his strike hit me, I somehow acquired his ability. This very power enabled me to break the barrier. I quickly bring my father to my mother's side. Now is not the time to dwell on such questions. I rise and observe the figure above. This individual proves exceedingly dangerous. I must eliminate him first. Lick displays an amused expression. What an entertaining spectacle. I will find it amusing to witness you lose your loved ones. However, whether you can reach me depends entirely on your capability. The next second, Fei Long's voice shouts toward us. Since that cursed Athena phantom has vanished, we no longer need to abide by those damned rules. His declaration targets Xu Hansi. He intends to battle the monk again and wash away his humiliation. Fei Long's figure rapidly approaches Xu Hansi. The second confrontation begins. Athena does not move but instead gazes at Licht in the sky. She finds her leader's behavior strange. Why does he not stop Fei Long's rampage? However, she quickly comprehends. Is our leader testing that young man's true strength? With this realization, Athena summons her shield and longsword. Under these circumstances, she cannot remain idle. She glances at Haogu behind her. How long do you intend to play spectator? You have not spoken a single word since entering. Haogu cannot be bothered to respond. Mind your own affairs. Assassins always reveal themselves at the optimal moment. The proud Athena resembles a general commanding warrior's. Bai Yi, you merely lost one arm. You fight as well. Bai Yi, transformed into the skeleton king, dismisses Athena. I require no instruction from you. Manage yourself properly. Subsequently, terrifying aura emanates from the skeleton king. No one escapes death in his presence. Hundreds of ghost shadows charge toward our position at this moment. However, in my assessment, this skeleton king's strength proves pathetically weak. Nevertheless, I cannot ignore him, or he might attack my family. Therefore, I instruct Hante-san to protect my parents with stone barriers. Upon hearing the command, Hante-san pounds the ground with his fist, and abundant rock emerges from the earth, encasing all three individuals. Within moments, Hante-san creates a defensive defensive stone wall. At level 75, he should withstand attacks from anyone present, considering the curse reduced their levels by 30. With my parents secured under Hante-san's protection, I prepared to fight with full force. They dared harm my parents today. I will absolutely not permit them to leave alive. On another front, the rampaging Feilong engages Shushan Sai in fierce combat. Having recovered his strength, he gains the upper hand against the monk. At this moment, shock appears in Feilong's eyes. As my figure appears above him in attack position, you irritate me greatly. You will fall first. Simultaneously, 6 dragon heads materialize on Feilong's hands. What explains this speed? He appeared before me like teleportation. Attack if you dare. See if my dragon jaws do not devour you. The next second, my leg strikes Feilong's body, causing complete compound fractures throughout his skeletal structure. The previously arrogant Feilong gets sent flying by my single kick. Feilong's figure passes right by Athena, stunning her with just one strike. A simple kick defeated their double S rank warrior. This causes Athena to curse furiously. You fool cannot even withstand a single strike. After repelling Feilong, Shu Chen-si breaks free. I instruct him to handle the spirit entities immediately, as his karma naturally counters spiritual beings. Shu Chen-si rapidly brings his palms together and begins chanting, "Fight without concern. I will safeguard your parents." Golden radiance emanates from Shu Chen-si, restraining the ghostly entities, as he attempts to purify them completely. Confirming that situation remains stable, I intercept Athena's advance. Anxiety now grips Athena. Bai's spirits cannot match that monk. I must conclude this battle swiftly. Athena throws her shield without hesitation, but I catch it effortlessly with one hand. Upon contact with the shield, I experience no recoil whatsoever. Killing intent fills Athena's eyes. She truly wishes to avoid combat with a monster like me, yet she possesses no alternative. In my view, Athena's attacks resemble elementary level attempts. My hand easily blocks her strikes. Now comes my counterattack. With Athena's body restrained and her shield in my possession, misfortune awaits her. Without hesitation, I smash the shield's edge against Athena's elbow, breaking it. Then I hammer the shield brutally against Athena's nose. You provided such an excellent weapon. Should I not properly repay you? Subsequently, I employ the shield to relentlessly beat Athena. Something about this woman disgusts me profoundly, so I strike without mercy, delivering maximum force with each blow. After 3 minutes of brutal beating, Athena's face becomes completely disfigured. At this moment, a voice descends from the sky. "You worthless fools prove completely useless." Licht extends his hand, and a lightning bow materializes beside him. "You imbeciles forgot you remain under the weakness curse. Unless that curse master dies, our weakness curse persists. Consequently, your combat capability remains suppressed at level 70. How could you possibly defeat that level 100 greenhorn?" Subsequently, Licht directs his gaze toward the stone wall behind Shu Chen-si. Shu Chen-si reacts with profound shock, never imagining Licht possessed such formidable divine power. Most critically, his target aims at Yukdo's mother. Subsequently, Shu Chen-si slowly removes his eye covering. He recognizes this action as extremely reckless, yet he possesses no alternative. The next second, he activates his celestial eye again. He must manifest his Dharma form in minimal time to block Licht's attack. Shu Chen-si activates his celestial eyes once more, but Licht above won't give him time to chant his incantation. Watching that immensely powerful energy continuously gathering, Shu Chen-si's heart fills with panic. "Die, losers! To perish beneath my lightning is your fortune." The next moment, his lightning attack launches forth. The power is absolutely staggering, countless bolts of electricity converging on a single point. With a thunderous boom, the lightning strikes heavily upon the stone wall raised by Hante-san. My heart races with anxiety. I must block that lightning before the stone wall shatters, but the lightning is far too fast. Just as I prepare to turn, it has already blasted the stone wall to pieces. The stone wall crumbles, which means my parents are now buried beneath the rubble. I force my eyes open at this moment, and immediately, I see a hand emerging from a gap in the ruins. It's my mother's hand. The hand wavers in the air, then drops limply. My heart stops cold. This cannot be real. I sprint wildly toward my mother's direction, but at that moment, a shield flies toward me. It's Athena's shield. I swing my fist in fury. "Get out of my way, you bitch." With a bang, her shield is sent spinning several times through the air by my strike. However, what I didn't expect is that my arm actually sustains damage. It appears this woman's restrictions have been lifted, her power directly reaching level 100. At this moment, Athena is furious beyond measure. "Did you enjoy hitting me just now? Now it's my turn to strike back." Athena's actual level has now risen from 72 to 106. With a resounding crash, I strike down Athena's fist, but I can feel her power is now incredibly formidable. What shocks me, however, is that when I collide with Athena, my body actually cannot move. This fills my heart with a trace of fear. What is happening? Athena laughs coldly. "Do you know why my power is so strong? Because the weakness curse on your mother has been broken, which means she's already dead." With a whoosh, I use all my strength to send Athena flying. "Shut your mouth." But in truth, my mother hasn't died. This is just a casual lie Athena spoke to enrage me. The tactic works perfectly. I completely fall for her trap. Athena sneers, her eyes full of contempt. Those with weak wills are her perfect prey. With that, she thrusts the light sword she conjured straight through my body. Although my body is pierced, I feel it hasn't caused me much damage. I must get to my mother immediately, so I have no time to tangle with Athena. This surprises Athena greatly. She clearly struck him, so why can he still move? So she activates her perception to investigate, and discovers that her attack actually caused me no damage whatsoever. This feels very wrong to her. She's at level 100 now. How could anyone ignore her attacks? It turns out his body contains divine divine power surpassing that of the gods, and it's as if a black hole exists within him, absorbing any attack involving divine power and converting it into his own strength. Athena is utterly perplexed. What kind of monster is he, possessing such terrifying power yet not knowing how to wield it? At this moment, I'm burning with anxiety. Mom is still buried beneath the ruins, and I must rescue her quickly. Behind me, Athena once again summons her weapon. No wonder the boss issued a kill order. We absolutely cannot let him survive in this world. The next second, a spear and shield appear in her hands. Sacred aura. Physical attack and defense increased by 20%. Athena shouts loudly, "Baiye Haogu, I'll handle this person, but I need to borrow your power." As her words fall, Baiye instantly summons his weapon. I curse silently. Why must they obstruct me at such a critical moment? Turning my head, I see that assassin named Haogu also rushing toward me. In this instant, the three great powerhouses of Eslar all converge upon me. They fear I will master divine power, surpass them, even surpass the gods themselves, so they want to kill me before I rise. A triumphant smile crosses Athena's face. Your journey ends here. I stare fixedly at Mom's hand, the tears in my eyes no longer containable. At this moment, Mom's hand seems to wave slightly in the air. To everyone's surprise, this woman is still alive. Athena shouts to everyone, "We must restrict his movements." 3 Eslar members release iron chains, attempting to bind me in place. Mom's hand reaches forward, as if wanting to embrace me once more. But before long, Mom's arm loses its strength, and I catch her hand as it falls. I shout at Mom, hoping she can regain consciousness and must not die here. But some people just won't let me have my way. The 3 Eslar members launch their strongest attack, trapping me there. After a cloud of dust, the aftermath of their attack sends debris continuously flying from the ground. Then I witness a scene I cannot believe. I clutch my head in emotional turmoil. This is impossible. This absolutely cannot be real. I just returned. How can you leave me like this? Before me lie 3 bodies, Hante-san, my father, and my mother. And I collapse powerlessly to my knees. Just as my spirit reaches the breaking point, Mom's hand strokes my cheek, freezing me in place, unable to react for a moment. Mom tells me not to cry. Crying won't look good. Yukdu, my child, you must survive. Mom and Dad are going ahead. I cry uncontrollably. I absolutely cannot accept my parents' deaths. I spent 500 years in the abyss, finally returned to reunite with you, and after just one day you're leaving me. Mom is barely clinging to life now. Don't worry about us anymore. Run quickly. From now on, you must walk on your own 2 feet. I will watch over you from heaven. Behind me, the guild's 3 powerhouses approach. The assassin among the 3 seems to have found a perfect opportunity for a sneak attack. He doesn't want to miss it. With this thought, the assassin suddenly moves, arriving behind me in the blink of an eye, and I seem completely unaware, making no reaction whatsoever. Just as that blade is about to pierce my heart, I whip around, my eyes filled with fury and overwhelming killing intent. All of you will die! I'll make you join my parents in death. This assassin nearly wets himself in fear. My gaze is far too terrifying. Along with the aura I just unleashed, his body's survival instinct screams at him to retreat immediately. But as he retreats, I unleash a devastating punch. The power of this punch directly shatters his divinely forged blade. Such terrifying striking force is beyond what he can handle. Thinking this, the assassin channels all his divine power into his legs, wanting to increase his speed and flee immediately. His speed is indeed remarkable. In less than the blink of an eye, he reaches Athena's side. He truly unleashed all his power to escape intact. Seeing this scene, even Athena finds it incredible. You must be joking. He shattered the blade with just one punch. Athena flaps her wings and rises into the air, ordering everyone, never engage him head-on, or you won't even know how you died. As my body vanishes from its position, Athena swiftly swings her shield. With a thunderous boom, my fist crashes heavily upon the shield. Athena feels terrible at this moment. It's like she's an ordinary person hit by a large truck, feeling as if every bone in her body is about to fall apart. At this moment, I channel all my fury into combat power. Today, it's either you or me. With just one punch, the shield in Athena's hand shatters completely. This shocks her greatly, but an even fiercer attack follows. I grab her shield. With a slight exertion of my fingers, the edge of her shield crumbles again. Just you wait. Today, I will slaughter every last one of you. Massive waves surge in Athena's heart. How can one person be so terrifying? The next moment, I strike with both hands, sending Athena flying. Athena warns the guild members, never use divine power or he will absorb it. Athena's words barely fall before my figure appears before her. Athena thinks to herself this is bad. She cannot dodge this strike. With a resounding crash, I deliver a devastating punch to Athena's face. Her body flies backward like an arrow released from its string. The assassin from Tiger Roar Guild watches this battle, his heart unable to calm. What on earth is this person? Then the next second, I lock my gaze on him. His state feels strange to me, as if he's invisible, but he cannot escape my perception. This makes the assassin's sense of crisis surge dramatically. He actually noticed me, but how is this possible? He shouldn't be able to see me. But when my fist appears before him, he must accept the truth. I have not only absorbed his divine power, but completely seen through his specialty. While I fight, my mother lies in the ruins. You seem to be enjoying yourself in battle, but haven't you forgotten something? For the sake of fighting, you would even abandon your dying mother. What a shameful son. With that, the Skeleton King's claw slowly reaches toward my mother. At the same time, Shutansi will not let this happen. He charges rapidly toward the Skeleton King. However, as he runs, the Skeleton King's weapon strikes toward him. With a thud, his weapon crashes heavily onto Shutansi. The speed is so fast that Shutansi doesn't even have time to scream. The Skeleton King already detested this monk, and now this monk wants to play savior before him. No wonder he strikes him down. I sense trouble. I didn't expect even Shutansi to be no match for the Demon King. But I can't worry about that now. I sprint rapidly toward Mom's direction. That assassin silently applauds. Well done, Baiye. At the same time, my figure has already reached Baiye's back. Naturally, he notices this and hastily releases his energy in an attack. Right now, he just wants to compete with me in speed. I curse silently. Why are these people so troublesome? With a boom, Baiye launches his energy attack. But when the smoke clears, he discovers I'm still standing there. It appears I blocked that entire attack head on. This greatly displeases Baiye, so you can observe absorb divine power, can you? In that case, let's see just how much divine power you can withstand. His words stun me. Can he really launch attacks like that without any cooldown time? The next second, Baiye seems to confirm my suspicion as a new round of death flames condenses in his palm. Though this time the power isn't as great as before, I think I should still be able to block it. Athena is now so angry she's about to cough up blood. The skeleton isn't Baiye at all. He's simply an idiot, handing over experience points for free. But this vile woman glances at a stone beneath her arm. Since divine power is ineffective and close combat is useless, setting these aside, she still has one method. However, at this moment, I'm consumed by bloodlust. If you've got what it takes, bring it on. Your attacks are already useless against me. Then I mobilize all my strength, preparing to receive this attack. But I quickly sense something wrong. Athena is actually launching a sneak attack on Mom at this moment. Soon, a large pile of rubble crashes down upon Mom. It must be said, Athena is both vicious and cunning. Since divine power can't hurt you, I'll wrap stones in divine power. At that speed and force, they'll be deadlier than bullets. Even if I can't kill you, I can kill your dying mother. Stop me if you can. Hearing Athena's words, I immediately sense danger. Regardless of how much damage these stones inflict, I block them with my own body. I feel some regret in my heart. Why didn't I kill this woman earlier at the start? Athena laughs with wild arrogance at this moment. Just keep burning yourself out. She orders all Eslar members to attack together. More and more stones rain down in our direction. Witnessing this, I rapidly smash these flying stones. But there are far too many stones. No matter how fast I am, I cannot stop them all. With several thuds, those small stones all strike Mom's face. Tears stream down Mom's face. She feels she's become my burden. Mom tells me to leave quickly, but I refuse outright. Even if it means death, I won't leave. If I cannot even protect my family, what meaning is there for me to live in this world? At the same time, as I speak these words, a cold laugh echoes from the sky. What touching familial love. This touching scene almost makes me sick with its sentimentality. Then Licht summons his divine sword once more. Even if you can absorb divine power, you still cannot win this war against us. As his words fall, Atropos's blade appears in his hand. It's time to end this tedious struggle. The sacred relic of the three fates, an existence capable of severing the threads of destiny, able to cut through all divine power. Licht prepares to transform Atropos's blade into an arrow. He firmly believes that even if I can absorb divine power, I cannot absorb this thing, and it will ultimately sever my destiny along with everything else. At this moment, Shuchensi below suddenly regains consciousness. He looks up and sees the divine lightning crackling in the sky above. This terrifies him greatly. This divine power seems capable of devouring everything. If he continues to stay here, death is certain. So he quickly rises and shouts to me, Yukdu, get out of here now. No one can withstand the power of this attack, not even you. But Shuchensi is so focused on warning me that he completely fails to notice the assassin appearing behind him. You foolish monk. Do you still have time to worry about others' safety? Although I hear Shuchensi's warning, I still don't move my feet. But that power truly fills me with alarm. What on earth is this thing? And I don't know if my body can withstand the force of this strike. Suddenly I hear Mom calling me from behind. I quickly turn my head. Mom, we'll be fine. You must believe in your son. However, when I turn my head, I discover Mom has handed me a sachet. Mom says with a sorrowful expression, we've only been reunited for one day and must already face the separation of life and death. Mom has nothing to give you. Take this sachet as my gift to you. Mom and Dad will always love you. The next second, lightning strikes down from the sky. This is no ordinary lightning. This is the thunder transformed from Atropos's blade. As this lightning crashes down, the earth itself seems to be devoured. Everything is destroyed. High above, Licht watches this scene with great satisfaction. The arena below has been pierced with an enormous hole. He's certain no one could have survived. Soon a message appears on his system, sacrifice to Zeus complete. The deity is highly satisfied. After completing all this, Licht descends to the ground and reunites with Athena. Athena asks Licht, is that guy really dead? Licht tells her not to worry. Zeus has already confirmed my sacrifice. That's not what you should be concerned about now. He orders his subordinates to prepare. Today's action has just declared war on all other guilds. There may be a bitter battle ahead. At the same time, my body is blasted into a pool of water. My body continuously sinks into the deep water, and I've sustained very serious injuries. I cannot move my body at all. However, what I don't know is that in this deep water, a human figure is actually approaching me. I'm rescued by a mysterious hunter. As my consciousness wavers, I slowly open my eyes. Before me is a hunter carrying a longsword, dragging me by the leg through a tunnel. My mind is completely blank now. In my mind, I suddenly recall my mother's sorrowful expression. My eyes snap wide open. I remember now. I witnessed with my own eyes my parents dying right before me. Pain surges through my heart. I clearly promised to protect them, yet once again I failed. The hunter ahead speaks slowly. You're finally awake, but as an adult, you shouldn't cry like a child. I look up at him and ask who he is and why he saved me. However, he doesn't answer my question. His gaze is filled with sharp intensity. Clinging to one last hope, I ask him, I lost consciousness after being struck by lightning. Do you know where my parents are? Are they still alive? But this hunter looks at me with utter disdain in his eyes. You're supposed to be chosen by that one. Yet what's with this weakness now? Just accept reality. Your parents died because of you. Shock appears on my face. I swear I will avenge this. I must slaughter every last member of Tiger Roar Guild. Just as I prepare to return for revenge, that hunter grabs my hand and tells me to follow him to a place. I immediately shake off his hand. Let go of me. I'm going back for revenge now. No matter what I say, he won't let go, so I swing my fist at him. However, what I didn't expect is that he easily catches my fist, and moreover, I discover my strength won't manifest. My behavior has become too much for this hunter to tolerate. You dare shout at me like this? The next second, he punches me in the face. Is this how you treat your savior? You actually dare swing your fist at me? Who do you think you are? He tells me with a dark expression. Right now, I'm stronger than you. Just as I saved you, I could just as easily take your life. My mind is completely blank now. I have no idea how I became like this. This hunter explains, your connection to divine power has been severed by Atropos's blade. Without the divine blessing, you're nothing but a mortal now. Do you understand now, you brat? With that, he raises the greatsword from his back before my eyes. From this moment on, one. That one will reconnect you with your inner divine power. Now you must come with me. Do you understand your current situation? Not only that, they will teach you how to properly wield this power. You idiot! You possessed such formidable power before, yet didn't know how to use it, and you were actually defeated by a few mere Eslar members. He tells me to get up quickly and follow him to a place. Only that place can restore your power. My fists clench so tightly they crack. The fury in my heart is overwhelming. I agree without hesitation to go with him to that place. Besides, I have no other choice. I slowly stand up and say thank you to him. But his next words confuse me somewhat. He tells me not to consider him any kind of good person. From now on, I am your enemy. You'd better watch yourself. However, at this moment, a voice interrupts our conversation. The arrival is none other than Shushan Si. I won't let you take him away so easily. Unless you honestly reveal that person's true identity, I absolutely will not let you take the child of my departed friends. Seeing the arrival is Shushan Si, a trace of joy flashes through my heart. I didn't expect he would also come to this place. He expresses that he failed to protect my parents and is truly sorry. Due to the backlash of divine power, you were blasted underground and managed to survive. When he realized this, he also jumped underground without hesitation and thus preserved his own life. Moreover, he discovered my father's sword at the bottom of the water, which reminded him of a promise that as long as he lives, he will certainly fulfill the promise he made to my parents. Therefore, Shushan Si steps forward to block him at this moment. If you attempt to exploit his divine power for personal gain, I will absolutely not forgive you. That person sneers coldly. You half-dead monk dare to adopt such a superior attitude. Do you really think I fear you? Shushan Si slowly removes his eye covering. I have no fear of death. Clinging to life is the true disgrace. I cannot use this as an excuse. But if he fails to fulfill the promise to his parents, in the afterlife, he will be unable to face these two. Seeing the fighting spirit Shushan Si displays, that person also places his hand on his sword sheath. So what do you want to do now? If you want to fight, I'm happy to oblige, but the one who dies will certainly be you. However, as they stand at daggers drawn, my voice interrupts them. Shushan Si, I'm willing to go with him. I need revenge, but right now I have no power, so going with him is my only choice. If I can ultimately awaken, then I don't care if anyone exploits it. I will simply accept it. Hearing these words, Shushan Si is greatly shocked. How can you say such things? If you do this, how can I face your parents? Shushan Si struggles for a while. You do. Have you thought this through? If you have, I won't stop you anymore. After receiving my answer, he slowly removes the sword from his person. Since you've already made your decision, you must keep this sword with you at all times and never discard it, because this is the last thing your parents left for you. The instant I touch the blade, I feel a sense of familiarity. This sword was left behind by my father. It contains all of my father's power and legacy. This is a hero's sword. Shushan Si glances at the sword in my hand and says seriously, this is a weapon passed down through generations of heroes. Each wielder has left their record within it, but to fully decode it, you need divine power. In your current state, you cannot use it. A sword bearing records, chronicling everything about its wielders. This sword was entrusted by my father to Shushan Si to give to me, saying that someday I would need it and must keep it well. I nod. This is the entrustment from my father and mother. For the sake of this sword, they used their prophecy ability, so this sword must truly be important. The hunter behind me reminds me it's time to go. Don't waste time here anymore. Every single minute and second is extremely important now. So we proceed deeper into this tunnel. Somehow I entered that strange tower, then escaped from it, then reunited with my father and mother, and then lost them again. I don't know where I'm ultimately headed, nor do I know what awaits me ahead. However, the place I'm heading to now is certainly a place filled with miraculous wonders.